Hey, we're at Calhoun Lake or something like that. You guys know the drill.
I thought you were saying like, oh, look at that, because we were like, we're gonna go this way, and we letting it
distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock it, twirl somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a force of grip. They forcing the simple that we absorb and quit. Took the people's signature and we extorted it. They forging it, abusing cause informants who's informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. The rest important is this important ships important. Yes, of course it is, but
That's awesome.
Assortment list of foreign tricks we want, which are
They're both awesome.
in the land we were storing tricks. Pedophilia in the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those and supporting it. Like a matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder is it real? Rappers actors say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deal. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder is it real?
Hopefully the sound was better this time. We got the phone's on a tripod now, so it should be better. What's up, everybody? Smash the Rogans up, smash the thumbs up. Bleeding sound when you face the speaker. Dang. Alright, I guess I have to keep my back turned to the speaker. We're trying to figure out how to not have it so crazy. Yeah, that dude rode by and said F you and all this crazy stuff. You know, people get triggered these days. In the world. Yeah. I'm so glad you guys got to come out today and we could teach you about the Earth. Yay. Yay. Alright, so everyone here thinks that the Earth is a spinning ball in a vacuum and NASA's going to space and Jeff Bezos just went to space and I can't wait till Elon takes us to Mars. And all that's a lie. It's all a lie. So, if anybody wants to try to win $100, all you got to do is come play a little trivia game. And you win $100, right? If you get 3 questions right, you win $100 cash. No strings attached. You don't have to pay to play. You don't have to pay if you get the answers wrong. And in fact, we'll even tell you what the first question is. You can even Google it. Then come up here, and if you get the next 2 questions right, you win $100. So the first question is, according to the globe Earth model, how many times does the Earth spin every day? How many times does the Earth spin or rotate every 24 hours? So there you go. That's the first question. You get that right, and the next 2 questions right, you win $100. You know, you can go get some drinks. You can buy everybody around $100. Easy money. Because whenever I start to explain what I'm going to say, everyone's going to think that I'm crazy, and all of a sudden everyone's going to get real tough in the distance and call me names and make fun of me, you know. This guy's stupid. So we just want you to come up here and, show us how much you know about the globe Earth. It's basic questions about the Earth. Like elementary questions you should have learned when you were like 5 years old. They're not complicated questions. This isn't a trick game at all. Don't be intimidated. You can just come try to win the money. $100. $100. First question, how many times does the Earth spin every day? You get that right and 2 more questions right, you win $100. So there you go. So the truth is, the Earth is actually not a spinning ball. It's flat. The Earth is flat. Did you know the Earth was flat? Keep jogging if you think the Earth's flat. So, yeah, the Earth is actually flat, and everyone thinks that sounds crazy, and I thought it sounded crazy when I first heard it too. But what we happen to know is that you guys don't really know anything about the conversation, and we're not like trying to demean you or anything. It was actually taught to you in such a way that you wouldn't know the specifics, so that you wouldn't know how to test it. So if you think I'm stupid, right, because I think the Earth's flat, so I'm stupid because I don't believe the Earth is what you think it is, but you don't even know what you think it is. Doesn't that sound a little backwards? It's like, you're crazy, you don't think the Earth's a ball? And I'm like, okay, well, what do you know about it being a ball? I don't know anything about it, but I know you're stupid. Right? That doesn't really make sense. It's like telling me that you know the Bible's real, but you just haven't read Genesis before. Well, how do you know it's real then? See, I do know about the globe Earth model. I know everything about it. I debate aerospace engineers, layman term rocket scientists, astrophysics professors, astrophysicists, a plethora of physicists. Okay, I know all about the model. I know all about quote-unquote gravity, the theory of relativity. I've read it, right? Written by Einstein. I read it. I know all the metrics, as do all the flat earthers. You see, that's pretty ironic, right? All the flat earthers know everything about the Earth model. We know how big it is, and we know every single metric about it. We know every story about it, who came up with what, who discovered what. We know all of it. We've studied it in depth. And in fact, we've gone out and we've tested the Earth. But the people that ridicule us, they don't know anything about the Earth. And that's the reason we play the game. It's not a trick. I actually really want to give the money away. Right? And so I even give people answers that are close. You don't have to get the answer exactly right. If you're close, I give you the answer. I usually let groups of people play, everything. I try my best to give the $100 away. Okay? Because no one here knows anything about the Earth. Nothing. And that's kind of the ironic part of the whole thing, right? Most people think, oh, I've heard of Flat Earth before. You're part of the Flat Earth Society. The Flat Earth Society is fake. There's not one real Flat Earther in it. And everything they say is stupid. So if Flat Earth's actually stupid, then why they have to misrepresent us with a society that doesn't have real Flat Earthers in it? And it doesn't say what Flat Earth really says. Because if Flat Earth is really stupid, why not just let me look stupid? Because when I begin to break down the conversation, you will quickly find out I'm actually not very stupid. So you wouldn't be able to hand wave dismiss this if you couldn't just say he's stupid. Okay, so based on geometry, geometry is the measurement of shapes, right? That's what geometry is, the measurement of shapes. They say the Earth's a sphere. In fact, it's technically an oblate spheroid. See, it's always ridicule when people walk away. Okay, hey, would you like to play for the $100? All right, look, I'm gonna skip a little bit just so the lady that's ridiculing me can find out how out of her league she is. The second law of thermodynamics necessitates pressure will fill the available space. How do you have a pressurized system sitting adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr with 8 claimed spaces if second law says that it will fill the available space instantaneously? Oh, this guy's crazy. This guy's dumb. I don't know what the second law of thermodynamics is, but this guy's dumb. So anyway, I actually asked astrophysics professors that question and they can't answer it. So we're just trying to give you the information. If you choose to continue to be asleep, right, that's up to you. We have business cards with our QR code when it's being attacked. So if you get one of the codes or the cards, you'll have to wait till later tonight so we can get it back online. It gets attacked every day, even though I paid for it up front. So let's cover some of the basics, right? The Earth is a certain size according to the official narrative, right? That means it has to curve at a certain rate. Well, we saw the skyline of Chicago across Lake Michigan, 60 miles away. And based on the globe Earth math, the entire skyline of Chicago should have been blocked by Earth curvature. Did we see through the Earth curvature X-ray vision? We have an observation where we see mountains 273 miles away. Based on the globe Earth math, it should have been blocked by 3 miles of Earth curvature. How does that work? No one ever answers the question. The most baffling part is that everyone acts like I'm stupid. No one ever answers the question. How did we see the mountains from 273 miles away if based on the globe Earth math, they should have been blocked by 3 miles of Earth curvature? How we see the mountains. Okay, you know that spheres have to curve, right? So like if a pregnant lady takes her hand and rubs it on her stomach to the bottom of her stomach, she can't see her hand anymore, can she? Because the physical curvature of her stomach blocks it. The Earth has to do that if it's a ball. And it has to do that at a certain rate. We saw mountains from 273 miles away, and 255 miles away, and 103 miles away, and the skyline of Chicago from 60 miles away. These are impossible observations on the globe Earth that you were brainwashed with from a young age with cartoon images. Now, most people think we have pictures of the Earth from space. You crazy flat earther. We've been to space. We have pictures of the Earth. Actually, NASA admits we don't have real pictures of the Earth from space because they say they can't get far enough away. What's that?
Just like some of these clouds, it's camouflaging into these clouds.
What about it?
They're camouflaging into these clouds also.
What does?
Just the people, the dark government, the forces that are behind putting up the illusions.
You're saying they mess with the clouds?
They do mess with the clouds, but you can tell some of these clouds are just artificial.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, weather modification, geoengineering. Oh yeah.
I got my card.
Cool. The QR code's being attacked, but we'll get it. Just hold on to it till the night, and I'll get it back online. They attack it.
They do attack it.
Yeah. Because they attack the truth.
They do attack the truth,
Yeah.
and we're in the age of knowing now, so it's like even more amplified.
Yeah, they had to clamp down on us. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, stay open-minded, man. Don't let people intimidate you, man.
Trying to clamp down on us.
Yeah, but they can't.
They can't though.
Truth prevails.
Truth prevails.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Unconditional love.
Yeah, of course. Much love, bro. So, why did we see the mountains from 273 miles away if the Earth's a ball? That doesn't make sense. So anyway, NASA actually admits they can't go back to the moon in 2021. They said that they destroyed the technology that got us there. Did you know that? Did you guys know that? They said they destroyed the technology, and it's a painful process to build it back. World-renowned astronaut Don Pettit, verbatim quote, "I'd go back to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back." What? You destroyed the technology of the biggest accomplishment in mankind history? That is weird. So you know why they can't go back to the moon? Because they never went. It was a studio film in black and white where the astronaut drops his hammer and he can't reach down and pick it up because he's on a harness and it's restricting his movement. So yeah, I thought that sounded crazy too, but you can look it up. Don Pettit says we can't go back to the moon. NASA admits we can't go back to the moon. Okay, so you don't have real pictures of the Earth from space. If you've ever heard of the blue marble, people think that's a picture of the globe Earth from space. Well, you can Google it, blue marble, nasa.gov, read what they have to say about it. It's actually a composite image. We take high altitude pictures over 4 months, we compile them, then we stitch it together in a flat map surface, wrap it around a sphere, bring an artist in to do an artist rendition to match what the observer expects it to look like. The artist's name is Robert Simmons, and Robert Simmons is quoted as saying, "Of course it's photoshopped. It has to be." So we don't have real pictures of the Earth from space. This is getting awkward, isn't it? I thought we were the crazy ones. So why doesn't NASA have real pictures of the globe Earth? That's kind of weird. Huh. But, you know, we can trust the government. They would never lie, except for the Vietnam War and 9/11 and fluoride and the Tuskegee experiment and, like, everything else they've ever said. Except for that, you know, we can trust them. You know, they lied about 9/11, but they wouldn't lie about anything else. They said there were weapons of mass destruction, but never mind, no, there's not. So anyway, I'm going to tell you guys the story of how we found out that the Earth was a ball officially, and you guys tell me if it seems legit to you, because we supposedly proved the Earth was a ball when we went to the moon, we turned around and we saw it. So in 1945, and everything I'm about to say is declassified, you can look it all up. Most people are just like, no, this isn't on TikTok, I just got to get some Instagram followers. Small waist, pretty face, and a big bang. Who cares about knowledge? This nerdy white boy's killing my vibe. Let me make fun of him. So in 1945, there was something called Operation Paperclip, and the U.S. government brought Nazis over here. Operation Paperclip, it's called that because they put paper clips in different Nazi scientists' files to know who they wanted to bring over here to work with the government. 1945, Operation Paperclip. One of the Nazis we brought over here, his name was Werner von Braun. He was an SS officer of the Nazi regime. This is the guy who was put in charge of space exploration for NASA, and supposedly the guy who took us to the moon. But Nazis would never lie. That's how you know the moon landing's real. It's because Nazis took us there. Declassified. So that's 1945, Operation Paperclip. In 1946, the very next year, the U.S. government started something called Operation High Jump. This is where they went and explored the Antarctic region. Okay? Now on a ball, Antarctica is the ice cap on the bottom of a sphere. Now on the flat Earth, it's effectively a ring of ice around you. Okay? So they went and explored Antarctica in 1946 in Operation High Jump, and they did this with someone by the name of Admiral Byrd, a well-decorated admiral for the U.S. military. So he went and explored this region for a few years on behalf of the military. And sorry, when you guys get the cards with the QR codes, they're attacking it, so I have to get it back up tonight. They always attack it. Probably because we're crazy, though. That's probably why they attack us and I get death threats and being kicked off every platform. Probably just because the government's trying to keep you protected from dangerous misinformation. So anyway, 1946, Operation High Jump. And Admiral Byrd then, after that, came on to national television in an interview, and he said, "It's astonishing to me that there's an area as big as the continental U.S. on the other side of Antarctica that no one knows exists. It's completely unexplored and has tons of resources, and yet no one even knows it's there." This is the guy that went and explored that region for America. Then he died from heart complications, quote unquote, 3 years later in 1957, and in between the interview and that time, his son also mysteriously came up missing and then found dead in a warehouse. So he slipped up. He said a little too much. He said that there was an area out there that we didn't know about, and he died in 1957. Well, a year after that, in 1958, they founded NASA, which in Hebrew means to lift up and to deceive, with a snake tongue going through their logo. Just a coincidence, though. That was 1958. And then in 1959, they signed the Antarctic Treaty, which is still intact today, the longest lasting peace treaty in modern history, not even up for review till 2040. Every major world country signed it or in agreement with it. And it says it's illegal to privately and freely explore that region. So you can't go there, I can't go there, he can't go there, no one can. Except for the military. And actually, it's off limits to the military, supposedly. It's just major world countries with approval. You're not allowed to go there. So let me recap for you real fast. Operation High Jump, 1946. The U.S. military went and explored it. The guy that went and explored it came back and said, "There's a ton of area over there that's unexplored that no one knows about." Then he came up dead. And then they founded NASA. And the next year after founding NASA, they signed a treaty that says you can't go where they had just explored. So what did they find that they said it's illegal for you to go see it? To this day, it's illegal to privately and freely explore this region, which would prove the Earth's a ball. We could just shut the stupid flat earthers down real easy. Just go to Antarctica and come back around the ball. No one's ever done it in the history of mankind. It'll never be done. It can't be done. It's illegal to even try it. So that was 1959, the Antarctic Treaty. In 1961, right after that, JFK came out and he told the American people, We're going to go to the moon. America's going to be the first country to go to the moon, and we're going to go in 8 years. Okay? 1961. In 1962, the U.S. military started something called Operation Fishbowl, which was part of Operation Dominic, which translates to of the Lord. So it's literally Operation Fishbowl of the Lord, right? 1962. This is where they shot high altitude missiles up and mapped out the container over top of the Earth. And there are dozens of declassified documents from the U.S. military that says that there's a firmament over the Earth. There's a container over the Earth. So Operation Fishbowl of the Lord, they shot missiles up to map it out. The year after JFK said, we're going to go to the moon. Did they really intend on going to the moon and they tried to go up higher and found out you can, or who knows? Doesn't matter, okay? They found out you clearly can't. They mapped out the firmament in Operation Fishbowl in 1962. Then JFK got assassinated. 6 months after he gave a speech calling out the elite, how they're behind the scenes and they're running stuff, including the media. Probably a coincidence. So JFK got assassinated after that. And then in 1968, a movie came out. It won Film of the Year, most famous movie in the world. It was called Space Odyssey. It was about a moon landing. And then in 1969, we miraculously went to the moon. The year before that, in 1968, there was someone that was part of the crew of astronauts that was supposed to go to the moon. And he came out and told the U.S. public, we're not about to go to the moon. There's no way we're going to the moon next year. We can't even get to low Earth orbit yet. We can't even communicate in our own buildings. We'll never be able to go to the moon next year. Well, guess what happened to that guy? He randomly exploded and died right after that on NASA's facilities doing a routine checking of wires. Right after he hung a lemon on the module showing that it wouldn't work. What a coincidence. Are you guys keeping up with the coincidence? Because you call us conspiracy theorists. I just think that you guys are coincidence theorists. Okay? So this guy exploded after saying we couldn't go. Then they just conveniently replaced him with another astronaut and miraculously went all the way to the moon the next year after they couldn't get to low Earth orbit the year before. And then they made it 238,000 miles away, and they called the U.S. president on a landline with no delay. Interesting. And then they said they brought moon rocks back, and they gave the moon rocks to different countries. Well, one of the countries they gave moon rocks to were Holland, and Holland decided to test the moon rock, and guess what? It wasn't actually a moon rock. It was petrified wood. Why'd they give fake moon rocks back to the different countries then? All of this is declassified and verifiable information. The whole trick is to keep you distracted so that you don't actually research things. Just go back and get on Instagram, bro. Doesn't matter. That's why it works, because you guys just prefer ignorance, right? Willful ignorance is the death of knowledge, right? And if you dismiss something prior to investigation, it's the height of ignorance, which is what most people do. Because they want to be part of the in crowd, right? So it's like, it's easier to make fun of this crazy white boy out here than to actually maybe not be part of the in crowd. I guess you would have been cool with slavery back in the day. Most people agree with that too. Appeal to majority is a fallacy. Who cares what everyone else thinks? People are weak. Think for yourself. Okay, so anyway, they brought fake moon rocks back, and then they had something called the telemetry data, which is the physical evidence of the moon landing, right? It was miles long. Oh, they accidentally lost it and recorded over it, and they don't have the evidence. This is the official story. So there's no physical empirical evidence of the telemetry data. They accidentally lost it and or recorded over it. They say they brought moon rocks back. They tested the moon rocks. They were actually petrified wood. They claimed that they called the president from 238,000 miles away with no delay, yet I documented 2 SpaceX launches this year, and at low altitudes they had a 1.5-second delay. Oh, this is getting weird. So again, whenever Don Pettit, a famous astronaut, was asked about why can't we go back to the moon? Can we go back to the moon? He said, well, I'd go back to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we destroyed the technology, and it's a painful process to build it back. So they say that we still can't rebuild and replicate technology from 1969 in 2021 as I'm streaming on YouTube from my iPhone 12 Pro with higher processing capability than a warehouse of computers, an entire warehouse of computers in the 60s. You guys believe that? we're the conspiracy theorists because we don't think that technology gets way worse and they can't replicate technology from the 60s with $60 million every day. Did you guys know NASA gets $60 million a day? Every day. So anyway, yeah, they can't go back to the moon because they never went to the moon. You know, hence them glitching out on camera all the time. It's a lie. The reason that this is important is because this is when they supposedly took a real picture of the Earth from space and proved the Earth was a ball to the whole world. Supposedly they took a picture of the Earth from the moon and proved the Earth was a ball. You guys may not know this because if you Google it, it'll say, oh, flat Earth's an archaic belief that's been disproven for over 2,000 years. That's a lie. Heliocentric model wasn't even taught in America for about 100 years, and there were tons of flat earthers still in America at the time of the moon landing. And in fact, 1 in 3 Americans didn't believe in the moon landing at the time. Yet, I walk around America all around, we're traveling the United States, and I ask people if they believe in the moon landing, and people my age say, yeah. And they've never even watched it, they just heard that they went. And so it's actually, you would think it got worse, but somehow people actually believe it more now. It's such a clown world. Okay? If you watch the movie, you'll be like, wait, show me the real film. This isn't the real one. There's no way this is the real one. They're hopping around like bunnies on harnesses. It's literally a troll. It's the dumbest thing. And so they admitted that Nazis are the ones that supposedly took us there. Again, I told you this, Operation Paperclip. We brought a Nazi over here. His name was Werner von Braun. And he's the one that supposedly took us to the moon. Well, Werner von Braun did something else. When he died, he had Psalms 19:1 put on his tombstone. And Psalms 19:1 in the Bible says, the firmament shows the handiwork of the Creator. Now, the firmament comes from the Hebrew word rakia. It means strong as bronze, beaten out as strong as bronze. The scriptures say that there's a firmament effectively like a tent stretched out over top of you, and that your grasshopper inhabitants within it, and it's to protect you. You're inside of it. Well, how come the Nazi that took us to the moon on his deathbed, he put Psalms 19:1 on his tombstone that says you can't go to space? Because he left the truth out on his deathbed. He knew that most people wouldn't actually have the pattern recognition to even know how it applies. But he didn't want to die with the lie. Something else that Werner von Braun did. Again, the SS officer of the Nazis that supposedly took us to the moon. Because like when I talk to boomers, they're like, how dare you, millennial? We went to the moon. What have you done? This is patriotic to believe in the moon landing. It's so patriotic that Nazis did it. It's so patriotic that the Nazis did it. But anyway, so this Nazi, Werner von Braun, what he did was he also wrote a science fiction book in the 50s. I want everyone to really pay attention to this. Because if you've been paying attention, you'll see that you're going to have to keep on claiming coincidences over and over. You're a coincidence theorist. So in 1950s, Werner von Braun, the Nazi, wrote a science fiction book. And in this science fiction book, the main character's title is Elon. And guess what Elon does in the book? He takes everyone to Mars for the first time. Oh, what a coincidence! Now in the 21st century, we have a guy named Elon Musk about to take us to Mars. So I guess that the Nazi, when he wasn't busy mass murdering millions of people or lying to the American public about sending a rocket to the moon that doesn't exist and couldn't exist, he was also a prophet that predicted Elon Musk 70 years in advance. You guys think that seems legit? That the Nazi predicted Elon Musk 70 years in advance? Before he was born? Yeah, the world's a stage. They're trolling you. You know Elon Musk, the guy that... Neuralink? You know that guy? Mr. Genius that can't speak coherent sentences and gives Joe Biden a run for his money. I don't want to put a chip in your brain. That guy that everyone acts like is a genius. The guy that everyone thinks that helped found PayPal, turns out he didn't. That he lies and says he was poor whenever he was a child. Actually finds out that his family owned a mining company and they were incredibly wealthy. You know that guy that lies about everything and wants to put a chip in your brain? The psychopathic, person, Elon Musk. So anyway, he owns this company called SpaceX. Everyone thinks that SpaceX goes to space. And then what it was they found out that people stopped trusting NASA. So they had to bring up a private company so people can run around saying, well, private companies go to space now. It's not just the government. Well, actually, SpaceX get hundreds of millions of dollars of grants from the government. Hundreds of millions of dollars of grants from the government every year. Elon Musk is on record saying we would have never gone to space without NASA. And he had to give the federal government unimpeded access to all of his employees and all of their computer systems. NASA is just extended through SpaceX. SpaceX is nothing more than an extension of NASA. Everything I've said is verifiable and declassified. Every bit of it. 100% objective. Okay? So I told you guys that what they did, they went and explored Antarctica, and they came back and said, you can't go there, you little peasants. And they effectively drew a circle around you. It's called the 60th south latitude, right? You have longitude and latitude. Okay, they drew a circle around you. And the reason that the circle has worked so well is that in 2021, the slaves don't even know the circle exists. They don't know they sit inside of a circle. You can't go to the center of the earth, to the North Pole. It's illegal to go within 500 miles of each direction of the center. And you can't go past the 60th south latitude. They drew a little circle in the center and a big circle around the outside of you, and you guys aren't allowed to leave it, but you don't even know it's there. That's why the lie works. And that's why I'm trying to wake you up, because you need to realize it's not China versus Russia versus the U.S. It's government versus people. And the governments are run by powerful elites behind the scenes, as they always have been. So anyway, what really happened, I'll tell you what happened in case you were wondering. Where did this flat earth crazy stuff come from? In 2015, the number 2 Google terms in the world were Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And right behind that was flat earth. It exploded in 2015. It exploded. Okay, because people started finding out about what I'm telling you about, which most of you guys had never even heard about until I broke down. They started finding out about the operations. They started finding out about the fact that moon landing was provably fake and has all kinds of glitches. And so they started researching this. They started going out and making observations and measuring the surface and finding out that they lied. 2015, flat earth exploded. So what they did, the government then came out and admitted in Congress that they censor flat earth now. They had to come out and censor it because it was getting way too big. So when I found out about flat earth, it wasn't quite censored yet. So you could find good information. If you Googled Star Trails flat earth, you got real videos. Now, if you Google flat earth, you'll find Flat Earth Society, which is all dumb, stupid misinformation, doesn't have one real flat earther. You'll find hit pieces, 10 reasons we know the earth's not flat, which I can debunk them all in my sleep. I could chug a bottle of Jameson and debunk them. They're all dumb. But the point is, you don't get to hear the real representation of flat earth anymore. Right? It's been censored. But whenever a lot of us found out about it, it wasn't censored. So, to be fair, you guys have a disadvantage. And that's why we're going around trying to wake you up. I can't just sit on YouTube and do it, though, because we're heavily censored. So I have to go around and be the buzzkill in public on a microphone trying to wake you up. I've been kicked off Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Venmo, PayPal. Don't even cuss. All I do is say the Creator loves you and the earth is flat, and I get forcibly kicked off every platform. So anyway, not to digress, I don't need your sympathy or anything. It's no big deal. We're just trying to wake you up. So it exploded in 2015. They came out and admitted that they censored flat earth. Conveniently enough, when you Google flat earth, though, Flat Earth Society isn't censored. Isn't that funny? Flat Earth Society is not censored. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to address some of the basic evidences of the flat earth, and then I'll address people's typical questions that they ask us, okay? So there's something called fluid statics. That is that water finds its level. That's why we put fluid in levels. If you have a water bottle, just tilt it around in all directions, it'll always find its level, right? That's why we put fluid in levels when we build things. That's why it's called sea level. Everyone want to look out to the lake for me? Hey, is that water out there level? Of course it is. Water always finds its level. Okay? They say 70% of the surface of the earth is ocean water. And if water always finds its level, large bodies of water at rest are always level and flat. How is 70% of the ball flat? Did you know that there's $1 million reward to anyone that can show water bending around the outside of a sphere? If you can show that.
The Earth is too big. Nah. The Earth is way too big.
The Earth is way too big for what?
To see any curvature.
That's not what the Earth is too big to see any curvature?
It's all about perspective, dude. You can't...
That's not what your side claims. They claim that boats go over the curvature of the Earth.
What do you mean my side?
The globe Earth claims that boats go over the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, you can go to the ocean and see it for yourself anytime.
So then you can see the curvature?
I'm just trolling you, dude.
Yeah,
I'll follow you on YouTube.
Really?
Once a day. 93 million miles, 66,000 miles orbit.
Okay.
I'm a flat earther. I'm advised on YouTube.
Okay, what's up, bro? Sorry, I can't tell. So anyway, you keep...
You look like you're hot, dude. Take some water.
You can see the curvature of the Earth according to the globe Earth model, but the problem is that you don't actually see it anywhere. So let me cover the basics. So 70% of the surface of the Earth is ocean water. Water always finds its level. Water cannot bend convexly around the exterior of a sphere that spins in a vacuum. That is impossible. It denies and defies physics. It's called fluid statics, a physical natural law. Again, $1 million reward to anyone that can show water bending around the outside of a sphere that spins. You can win $1 million. It's been offered for 2 years and no one's ever won the money. How interesting is that? Someone actually offered $10,000 to prove the Earth was a globe, and one of the Globers took the flat earther up on the challenge, took him to court, and the court ruled on behalf of flat Earth that there was no evidence for the globe 2 times in a row. Isn't that interesting? Huh. So I guess the court agrees with us. But it wasn't on CNN, so that can't be real. So fluid statics debunks the globe. Again, I told you guys we saw the skyline of Chicago from 60 miles across Lake Michigan. That's impossible on the globe Earth. The globe Earth mass says the entire skyline should be blocked by Earth curvature. We saw mountains from 273 miles away. Based on the globe Earth map, they should be blocked by 3 miles. 3 miles of vertical Earth curvature, yet you could see all the mountains. That's impossible on a globe Earth. Now, most of you guys have never heard of these observations, never made them, can't answer them, don't know what the answer is, but it doesn't matter. You can just call me names, and now the Earth's the ball, I guess. Okay, so long-distance observations debunk the globe Earth. There's something called the Second Law of Thermodynamics, okay? It says that pressure will always fill the available space. Heat goes to cold, high pressure goes to low pressure. Second Law of Thermodynamics. This is a natural law, right? It's not a theory. It's not something that we can debate. It's a natural law. It's objective. It just happens always forever. Second Law of Thermodynamics. It's an entropic law. It's about entropy. Entropy will increase. A simple example is if you have a soda, it's tightly sealed and it has a higher pressure, right? It's carbonated, that's why it's fresh. Your soda's tightly sealed. It has a high pressure, that's why it's fresh. When you open the soda, it goes psh, and then it equalizes, instantaneously seeking equilibrium. Because there's lower pressure around the soda, so once you remove the container, it equalizes to the lower pressure because high pressure goes to low pressure, spontaneously seeking equilibrium. Well, most of you guys are choosing to breathe something called oxygen. Oxygen is a gas, okay? So you have gas pressure on the Earth. Now, how do you have gas pressure sitting next to a vacuum? How do you have gas pressure sitting next to a near-perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr? Because the gas pressure would instantaneously fill the vacuum. She's laughing, but I debate aerospace engineers and they can't answer it. All she has to do is make fun of me. That makes the Earth a ball. Yeah, it's just the knee-jerk reaction because no one can answer these questions. So the astrophysics professors can't answer this question, but you can, I guess. You just won't. What's up? Gravity's why? Okay, here's the problem with gravity being why. So where is gravity the strongest? Where is gravity the strongest? It's at the center of mass, right? Okay, so the closest to the center of mass would be the surface, right? Okay, so gravity's the strongest to the surface. So if I let gas pressure out the surface, what happens to the gas? Okay, so if I let gas pressure out the surface, you can come over here and talk about it if you want to. No, that's not how it works. Okay, let me explain to you how it does. Yeah, see, you're just going to pretend you won and run away. Yeah. So anyway, so according to your fairy tale religion that you blindly believe in from Jesuits, the gas pressure at the strongest place of gravity at the surface level still instantaneously goes in all directions. All directions includes up, my friends. And up is the opposite of down, which is the supposed vector of gravity, down relative to the center of mass. So if gravity doesn't prevent gas from going in all directions where it's the strongest, then how's it going to stop gas pressure from filling a vacuum way above the Earth where it's weaker? It's not. And in fact, your model doesn't even claim it does. Your model claims that some of the gas does seep off into the vacuum, just gradually. The problem is that it can't do it gradually. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. It would be instantaneous. It would spontaneously seek equilibrium. So anyway, the second law of thermodynamics debunks the vacuum of space. So there are the fundamentals. Now what we normally get is no one will address the second law of thermodynamics or the fluid statics, or they do what this guy does, right? They've been trained to say the word gravity. It's like they're God. So no one here in the whole park can define gravity accurately. No one knows what it is. No one knows what scientific experiment proved it. But you were trained to say it. So when I ask you a question that you can't answer, you call out to your God. You know how when people have unanswerable questions, like why do people do bad things or whatever unanswerable question, people will just call out to their creator. Well, that's what everyone does with gravity. So I'm like, how does water bend around the outside of a sphere and stick to it if that's impossible? Gravity. How does pressure sit next to a vacuum without a container? Gravity. They don't know what it is. It's just their God that they call out to. But I'll tell you what it is. Okay? Gravity is called the theory of relativity. That's the current definition of gravity. So most people say stuff like mass attracting mass. Well, that's outdated by over 100 years. You're a little behind. Okay? So the theory of relativity says gravity is the effect of the bending and warping of space-time. And it's just a theory, hence the theory of relativity. There's no scientific evidence for it. It's never been isolated, never been proven, and it never will be. Okay? So when you drop something, the reason it goes down is not because some magical God, deity force of gravity pulls it down. It's because what you dropped was more dense than the air. So when you drop a helium balloon, it goes up, right? So is the helium balloon gravity proof? No, it's less dense than the surrounding air. So where's gravity at then? Why do helium balloons go up? Why do helium balloons go up? Because they're just less dense than the surrounding air. Density always causes something to seek equilibrium relative to that. If you take a beach ball and throw it in the air, it falls down because it's more dense in the air. If you take it to the bottom of a pool, it goes up because it's less dense than the surrounding medium of the water. What? Yeah, it is flat, provably.
You're a dope.
What's up?
You're a dope.
I'm a dope?
A dope.
Yeah.
You think all the pilots in the world...
I know 200 pilots that say the Earth's flat.
They do. Oh, you're,
Yeah.
you're nuts, man. You're nuts.
So you're saying pilots see the
We
curvature?
work for Honeywell. We
Really?
make gyros.
Gyros only work on a flat Earth. They have rigidity. What's rigidity in space? They maintain rigidity.
Give it up. You're a dope.
You have
You're a
to,
dope.
yeah. You know what a live stream is? You look dumb. Do you know what rigidity in space
Give it
is?
up, man. Give it up.
Yeah, run away. Do you know who invented? How do gyros work if you made them up? What effect do they use? They use Sagnac effect. You don't even know how they work, sir. This guy just said he designed them. He doesn't know what to say. What's the Sagnac effect? What's the Sagnac effect? You don't design gyros. You're lying. Gyros don't prove the Earth's a ball. The only way gyroscopes work is to have rigidity in space. Okay, so this guy came up and said, so you think all the pilots are lying? Well, every pilot ever knows that the Earth looks flat when they fly. They don't assume the Earth is dropping beneath them at 8 inches per mile squared. They don't assume the Earth's spinning 1,000 miles per hour. I know hundreds of pilots. The fact that this guy just thinks he can just invoke pilots is going to magically make the Earth a ball is hilarious. So, by the way, that's all we ever get is someone just come up and interrupt and call us names, but can't have an intellectual debate. You know why? Because they'd get intellectually eviscerated if they actually walked up and had a real conversation. That's the reoccurring theme here, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, I'm going to now answer some of the remedial questions that we normally get. I'm not trying to bash anyone. It's kind of what you've been engineered to think, right? So it's not me hating on you or anything. I'm not acting like I'm better than you. We all thought the Earth was a ball. So one of the main questions we get is, well, wouldn't you fall off? Wouldn't you fall off? Where's the edge? Wouldn't you fall off the edge? Okay, so can you fall off the edge of a lake? Can you fall off of this lake? Can you fall off of a pond? Of course not. So the Earth has water that's contained. Antarctica is known to have the highest elevation in the world. It's effectively an ice ring around the water. It contains it. Well, what about past that? Well, it's illegal to go there. Literally every major world country in the world signed a treaty called the Antarctic Treaty, and it says it's illegal for you to privately go explore that region. So when you guys act like you know what's there, you're lying. Literally no one knows what's there because it's illegal to go there. Every major world country signed it. So what's beyond that? We don't know. You know, technically, you all right, bro? Technically, it could extend on infinitely in theory, right? There could be way more land. There are ancient maps that show tons of continents outside of that. I hope that dude's okay, man. Cool. So, what's beyond the Antarctic Treaty? Well, it's illegal to go there. right? There's also a container on the Earth, and it could technically come down and touch down somewhere. Well, it's illegal to go there. So no, we don't think you fall off the edge. Not one flat earther in the entire world thinks you fall off the edge. That's dumb. Well, you should ask yourself, well, how come when you Google flat earth, it'll show you a picture that you can fall off the edge when no flat earther actually thinks that? Can you fall off the edge of a lake? Can you fall off a shoreline? So when you think flat earth's so dumb, I'll give you $100 if you can get 3 questions right about the globe. No, she'll just flip me off on a camera not knowing what a live stream is and how she looks retarded. So anyway, thanks for the content. Yeah, it always backfires on these losers. Yeah. This guy's so stupid, I just don't know anything about it. Anyway. Yeah, every time, bro, everywhere we go, we got people like her that come by and call me names and then flip me off, but they run away because they can't talk about it. They know nothing about it. And I just encourage you not to be that person, right? Like, just be honest, think about it, and just research it, bro. There's a lot of information. It's like, yeah, I know it sounds crazy at first, but don't be the loser like her, right? Like, that's the worst person you can be. All right, anyway. So, no one thinks you fall off the edge. That's ridiculous. And yeah, if Flat Earth thought that, then that would be dumb. Every Flat Earther that's real knows that that's dumb. So when you ask questions like, oh, then just go fall off the edge, thinking you're making flat earthers look dumb, you actually should realize it's a very dumb question. And it looks dumb. The person asking the question looks dumb. You can't fall off of a lake. That's so stupid. So anyway, can you fall off the edge? No. So another question everyone asks is, what about the other planets then? It's always derived from a whole bunch of arrogance. And I just want you guys to think about this, right? People are really arrogant. But what they're actually doing is they're giving this illusion of arrogance and confidence because they're very uninformed about the subject. They know nothing about it. They know nothing about it. They can't come up to me face to face and debate me. Never, ever could they do that. So they just want to pretend that they have the intellectual high ground by attacking. I don't want to go too far on that. I just want you guys to realize that that's the weakest thing you can do. If you're actually intelligent, there's nothing about this conversation that would intimidate you. You would have no obligation to attack other people. That's what weak people do. That's what weak people do. Okay, so the other question we get is, what about the other planets? Well, if you say other planets, that presupposes that the Earth's a planet, which is what we're talking about. It clearly isn't. In addition to that, what does planet mean? The actual word planet means wanderer. That's what it means. That's why they were called planets, because they're wandering stars. They're just lights in the sky. I document them all the time. They're just pulsating lights in the sky. That's all they are. And all the lights in the sky, every single star, including the quote-unquote planets, they all go east to west. The planets, the wandering stars, they just move a little bit different throughout the year, but they all move east to west. That's why they were called planets, wanderers. Okay? Now, you guys have seen cartoons of planets, and you guys think they're real pictures. And if you go to NASA, they will tell you that they're not real pictures, and that they're computer generated. But you guys think you've seen real pictures of planets. And that's the whole trick. They don't have to tell you that it's real or fake. They just show it to you. You assume it's real. So there you go. What about the other planets? They're lights in the sky. The Earth is the bottom of everything. So if you look it up, it'll try to show you some depiction of a disk floating in a solar system, and they're like, flat earthers think that this is what the Earth is, right? And there's a meme that says, I don't always talk about flat Earth, but when I do, I show my ignorance by intertwining 2 different cosmological models, where you think that you can take the flat Earth and throw it in the solar system model, and that's what we think. No. The Earth is the bottom of everything. All the lights in the sky move in perfect concentric circles over top of us. You notice how when you look at the stars, you have to look up? That's because they're above you. I know that's very profound. So the lights in the sky are above you. They move in the sky above you, and the Earth is the bottom floor. That's it. And so when you say, what about the lights in the sky? It's like me walking in your crib and saying, hey, look, there's a light bulb on the ceiling. That must mean the floor's a light bulb. And you guys say that stuff pretending we're the dumb ones. Do you see how ironic this is? How rich this is? You guys say stuff like, what about the planets? It's like, hey, look, there's a pool ball. That means the pool table must be a sphere also. It's just ridiculous. It's so remedial. It's so remedial. So the lights in the sky move over top of the Earth, just like you observe them. Did you guys know that all the stars in the sky do perfect concentric circles around Polaris every single year for all recorded history? Polaris is the North Pole star. It's in the center of the sky, and it's directly over the North Pole, the center of the surface of the Earth. And the lights do perfect concentric circles around Polaris year after year after year for thousands of years. For all recorded history, the Egyptians built megalithic structures that still line up with the same stars they do today. So, did you guys know that? No, but just call me names. Just call me names. That makes the Earth a ball. I know for a fact most of you guys didn't even know that. I know that for a fact. Okay, so the stars do perfect circles around Polaris every year, and they reset every year for all recorded history. Resetting, bang, year after year after year after year. The sky's a clock. The sky moves over top of the Earth, and the Earth doesn't move. Objectively. So what they say is, well, it looks like the stars are moving in the sky, but actually they're sitting still, and they just look like they're moving. Because you're spinning 1,000 miles per hour, you just can't feel it. Oh, I'm the conspiracy theorist. I'm the conspiracy theorist because I don't think I'm spinning 1,000 miles per hour right now. Cool story, bro. So, yeah, the reason you see the stuff move in the sky is because the stuff moves in the sky, not because it's actually sitting still and it just looks like it's moving. And by the way, they're brainwashing your children and lying to them with this nonsense, and they walk around life thinking that they're a tiny speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe where they came from apes and nothing's important and they can't trust their senses. Let me worship daddy government and the authority because the scientists know. The scientists know everything. We live in such a clown world in 2021 that people think that they have the intellectual high ground because they think they came from apes. They think it's like science or something. They'll call it science. Oh, evolution is science. What a crazy world, man. Anyway, you didn't come from apes. That's dumb. That is dumb. Well, we can't actually prove it. We can't agree on the theory. We don't have intermediate species. We don't have any intermediate species or any evidence of it, or we can't prove the timelines we have to presuppose, but it's science. That's crazy because I debate literal physicists on a regular basis. Right? And I know numerous physicists that admit they know the Earth is flat. And that they can't even publicly come out and say it because they would be fired. I know professors that know the Earth's flat and can't come out and say it because they'd be fired. They try to drop seeds in their students' head, like saying stuff like, well, this is just a theory, because they can't say it. And you guys probably support it. It's the people that would never pass the class in university, don't know any of this, never read the theory of relativity, can't define it, don't know how big the Earth is, don't know how to test it, don't know any of the stories. Those are the most arrogant people. They're the arrogant people. Right? Arrogance is the death of knowledge. I would intellectually eviscerate these people that come by and pretend I'm dumb. Yeah, believe it or not, genius IQs don't really care if you call them dumb. Does a genius IQ go out the window if you make fun of me? So, hey, hypothetically, if someone has a genius IQ and then you sit over there in the distance and make fun of the person with the genius IQ, does their genius IQ go away? Yeah, I'm sure. With your low IQ, you can call the genius IQ dumb, and then now he's dumb and you're smart. You guys thought this one out. So, and the point is just that you should just stop calling people names if you're ignorant. You know, these guys are such gammas, man. Anyway, I bet you guys will come up here and try to win the $100 though. I know, but I'm just saying, you should stop pretending that this is a crazy conversation. It's not. In a world where no one knows what the world is, but they attack the people that do, as they try to wake them up as the world has all shut down on the same day, and they no longer have freedom, and they have curfews and lockdowns, and they have to wear what the government tells them to. Are you guys going to go back into your house for a lockdown? Are you guys excited about the new lockdown in the fall? Yay, America's so free, we have lockdowns like prisons do. Yeah, let's get a round of applause for the government. They let us hang out today.
Hello, sir.
What's up, sir?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Is the Earth flat?
Yeah, the Earth's flat, bro.
Can you prove that?
Yeah, you can prove it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can measure the surface. We saw mountains from 273 miles away.
I don't know about that, but I believe in secret societies.
Yeah, secret societies are real.
Yeah, really real.
Yeah, they're real. Did you know that they know the Earth's flat?
Do they know what?
They know the Earth's flat.
They know the Earth's flat?
Yeah, you can't be a 33rd degree Mason unless
Yes,
you know.
it is. Why does it matter?
Why does it matter? It shows that every major world country is working together to lie to you. And there could be tons of land and resources that they're hiding. Why would it not matter?
No, I'm talking about the Earth is flat.
Yeah, they drew a circle around you. There's tons of land outside of it that they're hiding. That's a pretty big deal, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, also if the Earth's geocentric, which means the center of everything had to be created, so there's a creator. They're hiding the creator.
Yeah, they're hiding the creator.
Yeah. It's an attack on the
I
creator.
believe that.
Yeah.
So is that like God or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And if knowledge is power, it's much more powerful if you're the only one with it, right? That's what the secret societies are all about. They keep the knowledge to themselves. Yeah. Like you can't be a 33rd degree Freemason unless you know the Earth's flat.
It's a 33rd square Mason.
Yeah,
You
you-
never heard of the Freemasons?
I
Illuminati?
have.
Illuminati?
Yeah, like I don't
You
know.
ever heard of you ever heard about the Bohemian Grove?
Yeah. Where they go do the crazy little rituals and yeah. You can get to the 32nd degree just doing the rituals. But you have to be voted on to get to the 33rd degree. You got to know the secrets.
I heard you have to do like an eagle's head, some blood from there.
You got to do a bunch of crazy
You gotta
stuff.
do a bunch of crazy
Yeah.
stuff to join.
Mock sacrifices, all kinds of stuff. But like, okay, so you know the Freemason symbol? It's got a G in it.
Really?
Yeah. Geometria means measurement of the Earth. That's why it has a square and a compass. That's how you measure a flat Earth. But most people don't know how to interpret the logo, you know?
I was talking to your buddy about what does NASA do, and he told me NASA they deceive.
Yeah, NASA means to deceive in Hebrew.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it so like transparent?
Because they believe in the natural law, right? So they have to
Because they're
put
not
the...
trying to hide themselves. Sorry.
No, yeah,
they're not trying to hide them because
Yeah.
if they wanted to be hit, if it was really a secret society, they have the power to actually do it.
Yeah, but the reason is because the natural law is you can't trick people, right? So like you have to put the truth in plain sight, and if they still fall for the trick, then they think they don't get any like repercussions.
Right.
So that's why they show you everything in plain sight. Yeah, typically in movies and TV shows, but so yeah, they gotta tell you the truth. That's why you can go to the military documents. It says the Earth's flat. It says there's a firmament. You know, like have you ever seen the Truman Show with Jim Carrey? It's a movie. He thinks he lives on a ball, but he's in a dome. Yeah, they show you the truth, and so that way, if you still fall for the trick, it's like not their fault. I wish I could get more specific about what's going on right now, but I can't. Hey, Chris, can you check the phone, man?
All right, man. Good talking.
Yeah.
Could you get more serious?
What's up?
Like about what's going on? Why can't you talk about
Oh, because YouTube will delete it. Delete my channel. Chris, can you check the phone, please?
this? Are you live?
Why would YouTube delete your channel?
Because you're not allowed to talk about what's going on right now, like this right here, because they'll delete the channel. I read a medical journal, word for word, and they struck it. I read a medical journal, word for word, they struck it. So, they're censoring people.
What are you guys talking about?
The Earth's actually flat, they lied. Major world countries, the secret societies.
And you guys found out it's flat?
Yeah, you can measure the Earth. You can measure the surface. Right, so it has to curve at a certain rate. So like the Earth has to block your view. It has to curve and block your view. Like a pregnant lady's stomach, you know? But it doesn't. It doesn't. It has to do to a certain rate, but we've seen mountains 300 miles away. Based on the globe Earth math of the curve, there should be 3 miles of Earth curvature blocking your view. But yeah, you can see the mountains way down here. There's no curvature anywhere. See how the water looks flat? Water always finds its level. It's always flat. But you can measure it. You can prove it. That's why the government censors it. It sounds crazy, but
So what do you guys get off this?
I'm just trying to wake people up. Yeah, because they're trying to build a one world
What is it
order.
going to change though, if whether it's flat or circle?
Yeah, well, circles
what's
can be
the-
flat, but
I know. Okay, I'm sorry.
like a
If
quarter.
it's-
But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, a sphere or flat. What's it change?
What's going to change? Yeah, whether
Yeah.
it's flat.
The COVID
or-
is not gonna go away.
No, I can't talk about that.
No, but you guys say
Why?
that
But it's the first
the
free
Earth
world.
is
No, because it's, yeah, no, I agree with you, but YouTube will delete my video on my channel. But what's it change? Well, it shows you that every major country is lying to you. They drew a circle around you. There's more land and resources probably outside of that, right?
Outside of the Earth?
Outside of the circle that everyone thinks is the full Earth. They drew. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. It's illegal to go past a certain point.
like fort, like old.
Okay, so if they're showing that they're saying that there's nothing further than that, like, what are you, like, the only person who thinks that there's more? What there's
Well, there are.
You don't think there's people who came out to, like, look beyond all that?
Yeah, they got arrested. Yeah, there are millions of people that are flat earthers. There are 16 million flat earthers in Brazil alone. But we're super censored, and I get death threats. I couldn't get a 6-figure job. I've been kicked off YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Venmo, PayPal. So,
How many miles you walk? How many miles you walk?
how many miles I walk?
Yeah, how many miles you walk?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Yeah, try to walk more. Don't stay here, walk.
Oh yeah. Well, we're traveling the whole United States, man.
Yeah, I'm walking from half a year, you know?
Nice.
I
Yeah.
know everything.
We're traveling the whole U.S., bro.
Try to travel from Alaska?
Kansas?
Alaska.
Have you been to Kansas? Flat
Both
Kansas?
from Boston.
No.
You can almost see across
No,
Kansas.
try to
Yeah, you can Google it. Just say
Yeah,
Google.
no,
Google
just try
Kansas
to-
is flat
just-
as a pancake. It'll pop
just try to walk around
around here. Yeah, but I can't carry all this with me, man.
and come back here, okay? After like 20 years.
Well,
I think
guys, you guys gotta look into it. Anyone give you a card?
No, we're good.
Oh, take the cards, man. You can't be scared of the truth, man.
The gospel is the truth.
Yeah, you're right. The gospel's the truth.
gospel is-
And guess what?
that's
This is the biggest attack on the scriptures in the history of the world. And I prayed and fasted
Yeah,
about
but
it. That's why
never in
I'm
the
out here.
Bible does it say that the world
Yes, it
is
does.
flat.
Yes, it does. It says the earth takes shape like clay under a sill. It says there's a firmament over top of the earth that stretched out like a tent that contains the earth. So that doesn't sound like space, does it? It says the earth's immovable and fixed. It'll never be moved. That doesn't sound like spinning and shooting through space. It says that it has corners, and it says that it has pillars. Yeah, and pillars, and that it has a firmament.
and come back here.
And also Yeshua, people call him Jesus. Yeshua was his name, right? When he came to the earth, he didn't tell all the Hebrew people that they were wrong about the earth. And Hebrew cosmology is the earth is flat with pillars and has a firmament. You think that the Messiah just forgot to tell everyone that they were wrong? This is the biggest attack on scriptures ever, because when you read Genesis, it says there's a firmament, and it separates the heavenly waters from the earthly waters. And that means that the Bible's wrong from the beginning.
No, just try walking around.
Not around us.
Yeah, walking around.
Yeah, walk around. Yeah.
Circumnavigation east to west works on a flat.
No navigation,
If
just
saying
see
it's flat,
ice
then
and-
how does the water stay?
Because it's contained.
Okay.
Like there's an ice ring around it, like Antarctica, highest elevation in the world. It contains like a pole.
Okay.
And it lights up 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I actually am out here because of the gospel.
Okay, good. Well, we
Yeah.
believe in the gospel.
Yeah, well, I prayed and fasted about this, and this is the biggest attack on the scriptures ever. And the scriptures are 100% flat. I mean, you have to read it again because, like, I didn't know that either. I was raised with the Bible, and then I thought the earth was a ball, you know.
Right. Well.
But if you
it's
pray, if you're
not,
on,
it's not bizarre to me to hear this. I've heard this in
yeah,
About 3 miles.
if you pray about it, he'll show you. And,
people
And the sun
who
goes
are,
away from us.
you know,
yeah,
Appears to be going down.
and also it shows the earth's the center of everything,
right?
So you'll see
which means it had to be created, right? Because it's the center of everything. And I agree that it had to be created anyway, but some people don't think that. But if the earth's the center of everything, it had to be created because someone had to put it in the center of everything. But people think they're a tiny speck of dust in this huge universe and everything came from nothing and exploded. And
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
yeah, well, it's to hide the creator,
very close.
right? So I prayed about it, I fasted about it, and then I reread Genesis and cried. So, you know, I would just encourage you to re-look into it.
What's your 3 questions?
Okay, how many times does the earth spin? Every 24 hours.
Be inside the ball, not like outside. No,
One, that's right. Alright, I'll let you guys both play. How far away is the sun?
Isn't it like 92 million miles?
26,000.
93 million. I think I was going to give it to him, right? 92, you got to give it to him. What's the radius of the Earth?
24,900 miles.
Oh, that's the circumference.
Oh.
Oh, you would have got the money if he has a circumference. That was good. That was good. No, don't divide it by half. That's not how you get it.
You got to divide it
Down to one question.
13,400.
No, it's 3,959. Look, okay, we'll do this. We'll set you back down to the first question,
Okay.
right? And if you get 2 more right, then we'll give you 100. But we'll let you replay. Let's see. I don't want it to be too hard. What tilts is the Earth in degrees? That's a tough one, maybe.
It's like 26.
Kind of close.
And
24.
200 versus. Look at that the Earth is flat. 250. There's different.
You said what tilt?
Yeah, what degree tilt is the Earth, supposedly? Yeah. I can't be Googling, yo. I'm definitely not giving anyone
24.3. That's gotta be it. 16.
45.
45 now. And you're close. Not 24.3, but it's 23.4. Which, of course, is also 66.6. 66.6.
So now I need to believe.
Look, I'm going to give you $20 just for getting so close, man.
And now I gotta believe you.
You've done the best in like the whole U.S. Thanks for playing, man. You know more about it than the average person. You should keep looking into it, though. It's all fairy tale. It's super dumb. In a world. My dad did pretty good. 92 million, not bad. He said 24,900. That's the circumference. Most people don't know that. In a world. I've yet to give the 100 away. That's the second time I've given participation money, I think. But anyway, thanks for playing, man. So yeah, I just play the game because I make a point that no one really knows anything. Thank you, man. No one really knows much about it. Which is how the trick works, of course. This does remind me, though, so 66.6 degree tilt. So you might have heard me telling that guy, but so you can't be a 33rd degree Mason unless you know the Earth is flat. You literally aren't allowed. You also have to know you're a Luciferian. Have you ever heard of Lucifer? Okay, well then you may have heard of the number 666. So let's see how many times the number 666 is in this model that the high-level Masons and other occultic groups have told you guys are real, and you guys attack me for trying to wake you up to the lie. Let's see how many times coincidentally 666 is in it. So the circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is supposedly 21,600. That's 6 times 6 times 600. The North and South Arctic circles are supposedly at 66.6 degree latitude. The curvature rate of the Earth is supposedly 0.666 feet per mile squared. We're supposedly on a 66.6 degree tilted axis while we travel around the sun 66,600 miles per hour. Utilizing gravity, discovered in 1666. The number for gravity is 6.67. So these are all just coincidences, though. There's also an eclipse, and the reason that the 666 is there over and over is because they made up the whole model, so they had to stamp their number on it. Again, they put the truth in plain sight. There's also an eclipse that happens. It's called the Selenium Eclipse. So if anyone knows about eclipses, a bunch of people come and they're like, what about eclipses, you stupid flat earther? So according to the globe earth model, lunar eclipses is when the sun casts lights and then the earth blocks it, right? So the earth blocks the light from the sun and then casts a shadow onto the moon. That's what the globe earth model says the lunar eclipses. Well, there's something called the Selenium Eclipse, and the sun and the moon are both above the horizon during the eclipse. So how is the earth blocking the sun if the sun's above the earth? It's a geometric impossibility. It could not happen. If the sun and the moon are above the earth, how is the earth blocking the sun and then casting a shadow. It's called the impossible eclipse, and in fact, NASA calls it that. Okay, it's called a Selenium Eclipse. There's a lunar eclipse that happens that none of you guys have heard of that literally couldn't happen on your globe Earth model. And guess what year they said they first recorded the Selenium Eclipse? 1666. Just another coincidence. 666 and 666. Over and over and over, bro. So most people are like, you can't even explain eclipses. No. Your model can't explain eclipses. And in fact, NASA admits they can't predict eclipses with the heliocentric model yet. In 2021, they still use what's called the Saros cycle, which is from the Chaldeans from 2500 BC, which is a flat Earth civilization, because it's called the Saros cycle. The eclipses happen in a reoccurring cycle, but they can't use the heliocentric model to predict eclipses. They have to use the flat Earthers math and model to predict eclipses. Isn't that funny? I thought we'd been to space, bro. What happened to that? I thought we were floating around in space. Why can't we just see the eclipse? Why can't they just video the eclipse for us? Never happened. Why can't they zoom in on a plane flying upside down? Never happened. Why can't we see a live stream of the shuttle re-entering the atmosphere from the outside? Never happened. Why can't we just circumnavigate the Earth north to south and prove the Earth's a ball by coming back around on the other side? Never happened. Legal to even try it. You can shut flat Earth down a lot of ways. That'll never happen, though. They'll never happen. So yeah, NASA admits they can't actually predict eclipses with the heliocentric model. And they have to use the Saros cycle, flat Earth civilization cycle, to predict eclipses. There's something called a three-body problem. They can't even create a gravitational equation to explain how three bodies have a gravitational relationship in 2021. We're crazy, though, because we don't believe their fairy tales. And in fact, the theory of relativity, which is what gravity supposedly is, when assumed and applied to the heliocentric model and the universe, it's off by 95%. It's called dark matter and dark energy. It's not even close. They're not even in the ballpark of being able to mathematically explain the universe in theory yet in 2021. That's with trillions of dollars and all the quote-unquote scientists and all the professors and all the universities. They're off by 95%. So that's the world that we live in. So, all right, I'm going to take a break because we're going to have to charge the phone. It was at 20%? All right, so I'm going to take a break. But here's the conclusion I normally wrap up with. So they lied about the Earth. I know it sounds crazy, whatever. That's why it works, is because they attached a stigma to it. So people just attack you. Like, actually, there are people alive that if you say that there are secret societies, they say you're crazy, right? So it's all relative. But, truth doesn't really matter or doesn't really care about your opinion. So here's the conclusion. The Earth's geocentric. That means the center of everything. That means that it was created. All the stars reset in perfect circles around Polaris for all recorded history. They always will. The sky is effectively a clock setting over top of you. Year after year, we have 77 constellations. They are constant, hence the name and the pronunciation. Okay, the constellations are constant. 364 days from now, the sky will be exactly where it is right now. The sky's a clock. It moves over top of you. All around the center star, directly over the center of the Earth. Okay, so the Earth's geocentric. That means it was created. It's stationary. That's why you don't feel like you're moving. Whenever you see stuff in the sky move, it's because the stuff in the sky moves. The globe Earth model says that when you see this sunset right here, that actually the sun is sitting still, and you're falling backwards 1,000 miles per hour, so it makes the sun look like it moves. Cool story, bro. See, Flat Earth says that the sun moves in the sky. Flat Earth says that the sun and the moon are the same size in the sky because they are the same size. And then the globe Earth model says, well, actually the sun's 400 times bigger than the moon. It's just coincidentally exactly 400 times further away also, so they look like they're the same size. What a cool story. We've seen the same moon for all recorded history for thousands of years. Flat Earth says you see the moon for what it is. And the globe Earth says, well, actually it's a sphere. You just can't see the other side because it's spinning at the perfect speed that if it was going 1/4 a mile per hour faster or slower, you would see the other side. It's just a coincidence. Right? So when we see the stars move in the sky, globe Earth says, well, actually the stars are sitting still. You're spinning 1,000 miles per hour. It looks like the stars move in the sky and reset for all recorded history. Flat Earth says, well, the stars move in the sky. So pretty simple. The reason you don't feel like you're moving is because you're not moving. The Earth is stationary. In addition to that is a plane. So when we say flat Earth, no, it's not smooth like a corridor. It's a topographical plane. It has mountains and valleys, provably. It is flat. So the Earth's a geocentric stationary plane. It has huge implications. People say, why does it matter? Why would they lie? We give NASA $60 million every single day, but the government steals way more money than that. Okay, they're hiding land and resources. They signed the Antarctic Treaty. It's illegal to go there. There could be land and resources beyond that. Pretty clearly there are. They're also hiding the creator. You think that you're on a tiny speck of dust in the ever-expanding universe where everything came from nothing, and then lightning struck primordial soup, and rocks turned into fish. You were like, man, this water's whack, and grew some feet, then jumped out, turned into rodents, that turned into apes, that turned into humans. And all of it's pseudoscience, and none of that's real. Okay, but the Earth's actually the center of everything. It was created. So there's the major implications, like why would they lie? Well, for one, you can't even trust your senses. You don't feel like you're spinning, but you got to blindly believe you're spinning 1,000 miles per hour. You see the horizon's horizontal, which is what the word horizon comes from, horizontal, but you have to believe it's actually curving. You just can't see it. When you see stuff in the sky, maybe you have to believe it's still. It just looks like it's moving. So you can't trust your senses. You can no longer determine the difference between truth and fiction with your own observations or day-to-day life. You have to turn to authority for all your answers. Well, that sounds like a perfect slave state, doesn't it? You can't believe in anything that you can observe. Go turn to mommy, daddy, government. Go turn to the authority for all your answers. Okay, so it makes for a perfect slave state, and that's what they got you doing, walking around without knowing what the truth is. So that's why they would lie. Of course, I use this analogy. I'll use this in conclusion, right? So why would they lie? Why would they lie? Because people can't answer the questions. They don't know anything to respond with when it comes to this information. So they just say, why would they lie? Well, let's say that you had a girlfriend, and I walked up to you and I was like, bro, I got some bad news. Your girl's cheating on you. Here, I got a video of it on my iPhone. Would you say, no, I'm not watching that video? Because unless you tell me why she would lie to me, I'm not watching the video. I know she would never lie. I'll buy her all her stuff, bro. She loves me. She wouldn't lie. I'm not looking at that video. Or would you look at the evidence, find out that they lied, and then go find out why she lied? Okay? So what you need to do is look at the evidence. I did answer why they would lie, though, and it's very simple why they would lie. It's very obvious why they would lie. And why wouldn't they lie? Knowledge is power. Okay? So it's much more powerful when you're the only one with that knowledge. They always lie. When does the government not lie? Why did they lie about fluoride being safe for you when it's a neurotoxin and it's actually an ingredient in rat poison, yet they're putting it in their water and giving it to infants? Why did they lie about the Vietnam War when they said that Vietnam attacked us, and then they've since come out and admitted that we attacked our own ship, made it look like it was Vietnam so we could go to war with them? Why did they lie about 9/11 and say there were weapons of mass destruction, then they've come out and admitted that there were no weapons of mass destruction? You tell me why the government lies. The government always lies. Okay? So that's not a very good dismissal of this conversation. You should look at the evidence. I agree, it sounds crazy. That's the way the Matrix has been engineered. I'm going to take a break so we can charge the phone. If you got any questions, you can come up here. We also have QR codes. Peace out. What up, chat? They got the hyperspeed at the end, bruh.
Pop a battery on there?
Yeah. I should have turned the brightness down. That's what I messed up. I forgot to turn the brightness down. Oh, the brightness is turned down.
The guy on a bike, we think he was a professor or something. He says, you don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that he designs gyros.
Oh.
So I said, okay, what's the Sagnac effect? He doesn't know. He didn't even know what it was.
Oh.
I mean, I would have loved to debate him, but they always just run away.
Yeah.
Because like typically the people with credentials like that, they're like nervous because they could get embarrassed by this random white kid out here just talking, you know, this college dropout with the
What
chipped
if somebody
tooth.
saw me talking to this guy?
Yeah. Especially if he might win the debate. God forbid.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Who's there with you? A whole bunch of people. Would you want to? You don't have to, but you can introduce yourself to the stream if you want to. And then we got the same much traditional crew that was with us the last couple of days. Sheep always run from the truth. Yeah, of course. We're gonna let the phone charge a little bit.
So one guy got 2 questions right.
Wandering. Okay, I'm sorry that I say wandering, not properly. Yeah, I need to get this trimmed or something. Sorry, ballers. Witsit clearly has all the balls. Thank you for the super chat, Godzilla. Much love, bro. We had a group of people sitting over there. I guess you might could have seen them. I don't know. Nothing to read aloud. Great night, my lovely brother. Thank you for the support, Rico. Much love, brother. It's a Tennessee accent. Yeah, I know, man. I can't help it, bro. Let me go. Let me slide. Make sure you watch your bike. Yeah, I don't got a bike. It's always when when I'm on the mic, no one's really got much to say. There's occasionally, but like when you get off the mic, everyone they get real tough, you know? They're like, these guys are stupid as they walk away. The mic makes them like a little nervous though. If you keep doing that stuff, I'm just gonna ban you, dude. Get a tight, rough bristle brush for your beard. Yes, I need something, man. Jeez Louise, dude. I use a brush and it doesn't do anything. It does nothing, man. I look like a freaking chipmunk.
Great.
Joshua's done with those Russians now. Oh, they're so triggered. Thank you very much, Steven, for the $14.99 super chat. Much love, brother. It's gonna straighten out once it's long enough. That's what they say, dude. That's what they keep saying, dude. What's up? What's up? Okay, y'all. It's time to pitch it for a trimmer for Austin. Let's let the truth look as smooth as it is spoken. Nah, I just feel so weird about trimming it. I feel like I'm gonna mess it up or something and like it go too short. I just wanted to straighten out, man.
No, I've got one of those deals, you know, you just put it on the trimmer and then you just go like that.
Oh, he did too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Man, it went
the wrong way.
Oh, you gotta go against it.
Right.
That's what I did. I went against it and then it was just gone. Yeah.
And he had like this berm right here. He's like, what do I do?
I was thinking about going to a barber to do it or something, but I don't want him to cut too much of it. No beard cutting. It's like, of course that's what Jack says. Jack, do you see what I look like, bro? I look like a chipmunk, man. A professional cut. I don't know. I just don't want them to cut too much of it. You got a P.O. box so I can see it? Nah, I don't got a P.O. box. Not anymore. Need moisturizer? I occasionally put stuff in it. It doesn't do anything.
Occasionally.
Yeah. Get a blow dryer. I got beard oil. It doesn't do anything to mine.
There he is.
This guy hitting on the
blow dryer.
Yeah, I didn't get the sundown.
Yeah, you can hear me when it freezes, but
Hey. Oh, when did, did you used to believe the Earth was round?
Yeah.
Yeah? When did it, hit you?
I heard about flat Earth 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
Yeah, and I thought I was crazy.
Some other guy, too, said the same thing.
Yeah, that's
you
when
guys all got it from the...
That's when it wasn't censored.
Yeah?
It exploded, bro. You would already know about it.
I mean, I remember, it coming up, but, I was never...
But, see, that's whenever you could get the good info. Now it's like, dude, if you research it, if you Google it, it'll just, say how stupid it is, you know?
Some sites are down and stuff?
Yeah, oh yeah. They've been completely deleted. So many channels have been deleted.
So where do you find your information? 5 years ago before.
Yeah, you have to know the real flat earthers. You can still find it, but it's like you have to get in the in crowd basically, right? That's why we have the QR code, but it's I have to fix it. It's messed up right now. But you'll find out. So there's Globebusters, there's Sharonism, there's Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. So there's an app on if you have iPhone or Android, right? If you type in flat Earth, it'll pop up. It's called the Flat Earth Sun Moon and Clock app. It costs $3. It was free, but then a bunch of globers, I don't call everyday people globers. It's the people that just can't let go. They attack you. They went and spammed the 1 star, right? They spammed the 1 star. So he had to move it where it costs money, so that the trolls wouldn't get to it, and also it costs thousands and thousands of dollars to run it. But anyway, on that app, if you go to the question mark section, you can tap the question mark. Every question you can think of, right? So it's what about satellites? What can you fall off the edge? All these questions, right? and it'll take you to the YouTube videos that have been shadow banned. So it's like an algorithm to fight the algorithm, basically. So the Flat Earth app is good. That's deep inside the rabbit hole, Dave Weiss. You can also look up 200 proofs that the Earth's not a spinning ball. That's the first thing that I actually watched, and I was like, whoa, this is a little deeper than I thought.
What about the pyramids?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's a rabbit hole. The pyramids are a trip.
You know, anything by Eric Dubé, though. Eric is really, that man is a sharp guy. It's just that he's gone off a little bit off the edge here with his other research.
But like, the pyramid, I think the ancient civilizations were more advanced than we were told. I think that's the whole
I believe that too as well. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that you look at and you're like,
Doesn't add up. Doesn't add up.
Batteries.
But no, I don't blame it all on aliens. I just think that they were more advanced. I think we effectively had a reset.
What about giants? Are giants real?
I think there used to be giants actually. I know that sounds
we
good.
don't know. That's the thing. It's like, who knows?
There's a lot of info for giants, bro. There's a lot of evidence. Like, if you can look up newspaper articles from like the early 1900s in the U.S. that said they found like giant remains.
You believe in dinosaurs?
I don't.
No.
I think that they actually, because dinosaurs weren't even considered a thing until like the 1850s when the Royal Society came out with it. I think that they were finding these giant bones.
Yeah.
And so they came up with a cover story. And so, because like no one just dug up a T-Rex. Like, that never happened.
Like in one piece.
Yeah. No. And then if you go to the museums, everyone sees the bones, but they're not real bones. They're replicas, admittedly. They say that they're radioactive and dangerous and stuff like that. So, no, I don't think dinosaurs are real. They'll be like, oh, 4 billion years ago, there were these. No, you don't know that, bro. You're just saying that. I think they're hiding out. There could have been bigger animals, though. I think there were probably bigger
Well, there
animals.
were, because it had something to do with like oxygen levels.
Yeah, I
like,
think there were
lowered or
bigger
something.
trees, so more oxygen, bigger
Or high
people,
oxygen.
and
Well, Job talked about behemoth and the animal with the tail that looked like a cedar.
Yeah.
And that a cedar
It's
is
big.
a big tail. So that my belief is that the Brontosaurus, Allosaurus, that thing with the long neck, that existed. I believe that. Beyond that, these other things.
Yeah, like the timelines they say, how they say they know exactly what they look like. They made up fairy tales, but I think there were big animals
Yeah.
and big
Well,
people.
we'll never know exactly what they look like, obviously.
No, unless they were to like somehow come back, right? Like unless. But I think that people got smaller too. So I think that they kind of flipped it
You
on
think
its
people
head.
got smaller?
Yeah. Like I think they told us that we're evolving and stuff, and I think it's actually we're suffering from atrophy, and that we're getting smaller, and the oxygen percentage is going down, and I think people live longer and we're bigger.
Like 900 years longer?
I think at the beginning, I believe it's
Not people like they lived shorter lives just because like hygiene wasn't a thing and stuff. They would just die. Like
that's modern history, yeah, for sure. Like 1800s, 1700s, yeah. But I think that like the Egyptians were super advanced.
I mean, you look at some of the shit they
Dude,
put with
they-
limited tools. Who knows?
Yeah, with what they said, it doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense.
There's another thing, vitamin C. The vitamin C gene, we're, humans and apes and guinea pigs don't make vitamin C anymore. They don't make vitamin C. All the other animals do. Make 15,000 a day. You know that. And so I think that gene was shut off at the Garden of Eden. And the ages started dropping at that point. Because we have the gene. Ages dropping over the years. Vitamin C is something worth researching, by the way. And then cover it up.
Okay.
Medic.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Honestly, what you'll find out is the people that came across this truth, they're awake to like most of the big truths. That's why we talk about this one, because if someone can like really get to the point where they can humble themselves enough to figure this out, they won't fall for the other deceptions. It's not like, I don't think it's the most important thing ever. Right? Like if you look at it from the macro, it's like, it is important where you live and stuff, but it's like how big the lie is, because it shows you like none of us fell for the last year and a half. You know, I can't get into specifics, but like none of us fell for it. And so you wouldn't be like, do you like Biden or Trump? You would know that every president's related. You would know that politics is a scam. They're all the elite, and then we're in a club that we're not in their club, you know.
How do you join the club then?
You have to be born into it. Unless you marry into it, it's very rare though.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm not like an expert on like genetics or anything, but I don't think Obama and Trump are related.
They are. They actually are. Obama's related to all the other presidents. Yeah, his mom is white. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like...
No, I thought the same thing. You just look it up.
They think there's one exception, and they make it clear that Obama is not the exception.
Yeah. They say there's like one president. I can't remember who it is. But no, Obama's related to him. I would think he wasn't too, though. Actually, a 12-year-old girl did a study for her school project and found this out, and it made the news and everything. But then you can just look it up. They all track back to English royalty, which is, we supposedly broke off English royalty, right?
Well, we did.
That's what the story is.
Yeah.
But now all the presidents are still tracked back to the same family. And if you read their literature, they're eugenicists, so they want to keep their bloodline intact, right? And that's who they think should reproduce. They don't really want us reproducing. That's why they break up the family and they say, oh, there's 87 genders and don't make babies and take these GMOs and drink bad water and drink fluoride, and I can't get into too specific, but these don't help at all, you know what I'm saying? And they don't want us reproducing. They think that they're special. And they actually write about it. Every 200 years, they have to move it to another branch of the family tree, or you'd have physical deformities. So it's like a science to them.
At some point.
Yeah. I think they're actually getting dumber too. Like if you look at like George Bush Sr. to George Bush Jr., George Bush Jr. is dumb, bro. You know?
It's a little...
Well, if you've seen the likeness of What We Worry and Alfred E. Newman, made out of George E. Bush, have you seen that?
Nah.
That was, to me, that was reality.
No, the world's a stage, man. The world's a stage, yeah. And what they do is they write science fiction books, and then they say it really happened.
What do you think happens then, like when you die? What happens?
I think the scriptures are real.
Yeah.
So I think that, well, what the scriptures, people think that it says you go to heaven, and like it doesn't say that. You go to a rest state, and then there's a singular resurrection day, a singular judgment day, and there's a new heaven and earth. It comes here. And so, like, if you get right with the Creator, then you have eternal life. If you don't, then you cease to exist. A lot of people say that you get thrown in fire and you get tormented in hell, and it doesn't say that.
So hell is just like lights out, nothing.
Yeah, like if you throw a piece of paper in fire, it burns up. So, like, yeah, there's the eternal fire, but you just cease to exist.
Okay.
So it's not like, but I mean, if you can either cease to exist or eternally exist, I mean, it's a pretty simple decision. Yeah, I mean, why would you rather not live forever with no pain and suffering? But that's my answer, yeah. And it's not about religion, it's about a personal relationship with the Creator. It's not, like you don't have a religion with your father, you have a relationship. Yeah. Religion sucks, bro. Absolutely sucks. So when I tell people that religion sucks and I believe in the scriptures, they are like, wait, what? But yeah, the scriptures are real, but they mess with it. They changed the main character's name to Jesus, and his name is Yeshua, and they changed his birthday. They say it's December 25th.
Oh, it is.
Joshua.
Oh yeah, that's the more accurate English. Yeah, for sure. Yehoshua. Yeah, for sure. That really is. But they changed everything, and they didn't do that to any other religion. They didn't change Muhammad's name or Buddha's name, bro. Like, they know the scriptures are true, and they changed it, and they changed it with translations, and they say go to church on Sunday.
But why would they change them? Like, if it is true, and it's like,
well, they hate them. That's their enemy.
And I think the government stuff is against the church?
Yeah, for sure. Well, the church, no. Like, they work together.
Yeah.
But, like, the real Creator and the real truth of the scriptures, yeah.
So then is the church disassociated from the real Creator?
Yes,
then?
Absolutely. Like, the Catholic Church hates the real Creator. Hates it.
Huh.
Yeah. It's the biggest deception ever. Like, everything the Catholic Church does is the opposite of what the scriptures say. Like, Yeshua was like, don't call any man on this earth father. So the Catholic Church calls the priest Father, and it says don't pray in vain repetitions, so they pray in these vain repetitions, and only Yeshua can mediate you to the Father, so they say pray to Peter and to Mary. They did everything intentionally backwards, and then they love to hold him up being crucified. They're like, oh look, here he is dying.
And that gold sun god.
Yeah, with the sun god
middle,
symbol.
and
Yeah,
rays, everything has that.
And it's secret society of Jesus, and according to Talmud, Jesus means may his name and remembrance be blotted out. It's actually a curse. Now, I'm not like real dogmatic. I mean, it's about your heart, right? If you call him Jesus or whatever, but that's why they're comfortable saying Jesus, is because they're the secret society of blotting his name out. So it's a rabbit hole. The most powerful people in the world are obsessed with. It actually looks like Yeshua was born on 9/11. You ever heard that? Yeah.
Not heard that.
Well, that's a trip, isn't it? So they associated 9/11 with trauma, and now you call 911 when you call the cops when something bad happens. Yeah. And then they told you December 25th, which is actually the birthday of Nimrod. Yeah. It's a rabbit hole, bro.
Who's Nimrod?
Nimrod's the one that was over Babylon, right? Like the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
They built the Tower of Babel, and then the Creator stepped in, confounded their languages, and set them different ways. And like tons of ancient civilizations wrote about the Tower of Babel. Like it's not just in the scriptures; it's like hundreds of different depictions.
Do you think the world ended in 2012 then?
No.
The Mayans or no?
No, but I do think that our
Some
calendar's
people
wrong.
think that.
I think our calendar's wrong though.
When you think of the Tower of Babel, think of the flat Earth model, and don't, because if you think of it in terms of a globe Earth, it makes no sense. But if you think of it in terms of a firmament above, an enclosed world, that they were trying to get up to,
The
and
firmament.
not spinning.
Yeah. They weren't just trying to go to space.
Yeah.
They were trying to go to the firmament and break through it. Have you ever seen the Disney logo? They draw the dome, and they draw the dome, but the top of the castle's poking through it. It's about the Tower of Babel. It's a lot.
Symbolism everywhere.
It's everywhere. Have you ever heard of the Truman Show? The movie The Truman Show?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. It just shows you in plain sight. He thinks he lives on a ball, but he's in a dome the whole time. Then he goes to the container and he opens it up at the end or whatever. Yeah, it's in all the movies. They lie in the news and then they tell the truth in TV shows and movies. Yeah, and then that's their whole trick, because then they get to tell you to your face, but people are like, well, it's just a movie. That's why it works. It's called the natural law. The CIA admitted that they run the news. The CIA runs the mainstream news. They admitted it. Operation Mockingbird.
I guess they decide what is public and what's not. Like there's some shit they just can't show. Like,
Sure, national security purposes.
I don't think we should expose like where troops are and stuff.
No, I agree. There's
some
middle ground. Yeah.
Security, right?
But that's why they're able to use that, and they just go 0 to 100 with it, But like the news is literally run by, like a CIA representative was asked about this in Congress, and he's like, so are you saying that the news anchors are CIA agents? And the CIA representative said, we need to continue this conversation behind closed doors. So like the news anchors, now I'm not saying I know that they all are, there are CIA agents that work as news anchors.
Do you think there's CIAs that work as civilians then too?
Yeah, of course. But like, I mean, they just blend in with society. I've had weird, creepy people follow me around, like in Washington, D.C. and stuff.
Because they know you're onto something?
Probably, yeah. I think they also know they can't really mess with me, though. If they kill me, it'd be more detrimental than anything. It's more successful to just keep me in the shadow of the internet,
Why?
Because if I died, then a bunch of people would, like,
You think
get
it
it out.
Something?
Yeah. People would be like, what was this guy talking about?
Oh, so you think they would, like, silence you then?
I don't think they will.
Think that's what it was.
Yeah. I think it could backfire. Like B.O.B., that's why they won't kill B.O.B. They just make him look crazy. Like they won't kill him though. B.O.B. is where I found out about Flat Earth.
That's what the other dude said with he had a backpack on.
Yeah.
That's what he said too.
Yeah, and I thought it was crazy. And I told all my friends, go listen to B.O.B. because he has a bunch of conspiracies I knew were true in his music. And then he came out with an Elements mixtape talking about Earth, and I was like, bro, you just made me look dumb to everybody, And so I researched. I was like, I'll just find pictures of the Earth from space. This is easy. And then you'll just fall down the rabbit hole, bro. Here I am 5 years later traveling the U.S. being a crazy person on the mic.
ODD TV did an awful good job, too.
Yeah, ODDTV is a legend. You should look him up. He just got his channel back. They almost took it away, but he got it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ODDTV. He does some music. Yeah, dude, the truth is stranger than fiction, man. But is it though, right? Like when it comes to the Earth, it's like, oh, you're saying the water looks flat because it's flat. Oh, you're saying I don't feel like I'm moving because I'm not moving.
All right.
Basically, all of the conspiracy theories, I mean, I'm saying all, but most of the conspiracy theories are the truth. It's the other things that are the lie.
Yeah.
What about the birds? Are they fake?
No, no. That one is just to make it look ridiculous. Now, the DARPA does admit that they can, they have things as small as mosquitoes that can look like mosquitoes that are like surveillance drones. Yeah, but like no, birds aren't fake.
What's your names?
Austin.
Austin.
What about chemtrails?
Chemtrails are real. They've admitted it. Yeah. Geoengineering, weather modification. All right, bro. Much love, bro.
That's interesting.
They admit that one.
There's a thing called Minnesota hasn't had rain since June 1st. And
Minnesota?
well, this area.
Yeah, right, like,
Oh, I didn't get it. I'm sure. There's a plan called Air Force for 2025. Air Force says we will have control total over all weather by 2025, and they've already beat it because they're.
well, they do make. I know, like NASA
Thank
makes
the Air Force
artificial
for
clouds,
this.
but I don't think they have complete control.
Well, no. I don't. They may in some areas, but they're still working on it, in my opinion. But they do cloud seeding. This is declassified. Yeah. And like just in Dubai, like last week, they shot clouds with electrostatic charge to make it rain. So it's like that's on mainstream, right? Like they made it rain. So they definitely can, and what they do is they send large things of water vapor across the ocean to the west coast and then across the U.S. That's why the west coast gets it the worst, because it's the area they can manipulate the best. So I think that they have a lot of stuff they can do. HARP, they use frequencies to manipulate different things. Can they completely control the weather? I wouldn't say that they can, but
They couldn't until they got the water generators, and there are so many. I think it's 58,000 of these things, and what it is, it's the power stations. Okay, the power station out by Big Lake.
Yeah.
Okay, that one. Go and pull that down on Google, and you'll see the 12 or 13 sometimes fans in a row like this, and all they do is generate water, and they're turned on by a source that is controlled. And I used to go to NexRad, the NexRad site in University of Wisconsin, and you could see how they were manipulating all of the NexRad sites, and you could see them go pulse on, and it would be a pulse like this, a wave going over the country, and then you would see the generators, the water generators, just like you would go to Branson, Missouri. That whole area is a big water generator because there was a dam there, and so they've got all this water, these canals and everything. And that's a big area. And then the Mexican mountains just beyond Texas are loaded with water. They've got these power stations, water generators. And they're all over the country, and they're in Europe. And all the government has to do is turn these things on in order. And that's the person that gets flooded for that day.
They can do a lot with it, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
For sure.
I see total control. I see that the Air Force.
That's their aim, for sure.
Is there, 2025.
Yeah.
The secret is the water generators. But go to Big Lake, go to that Monticello, whatever it is, and look down at those, and then look at all the other ones in this country. There's no function for those things. They push water up, and this water just, and go by it sometimes and just check it out. Take a picture of it. I got pictures of it.
I drive by through Monticello to go up to my cabin, so.
Oh, take a picture each time.
Yeah, they're definitely. I mean, that's just such an evil thing to do.
At all.
What are you live streaming on?
YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah. For now.
You guys get a lot of comments saying, like a lot of good conversation in the text.
Yeah, always. What's up, chat? We got a couple hundred people watching.
Cool.
Thank you for the super chat, Scott B. Much love, brother.
Yeah, well, we gotta close and lock up now. So I mean,
All right, nice
yeah,
talking
it was
to you,
nice
man.
talking
yeah,
to you,
yeah.
for sure.
So stay open-minded, bro.
Of course.
And,
I mean, I'm aware I don't know everything.
Yeah.
Right, but I think there's so much like evidence and research on like every single aspect of things. Like every conspiracy theory has some sort of backup. Like, I don't know. I think I realize like I don't know shit. So it's like,
yeah. Well, that's a good place to be. I mean, just be open to information.
You never know.
Yeah, bro.
This is a big one, and then you start seeing all the other ones. I was telling somebody else about this. There was a fiddler in a parking lot, and he was, he had electric silent violin, electric, and so he's playing this thing, and his phone is sending the accompaniment to his speaker. So I'm walking up to this guy, and he's playing like this, and everybody is putting money in his kitty, and I go up to him and I said, you should really be on the right strings. For a high note, be on the high string. And he looked at me and he kept doing this because he doesn't dare stop because the music will keep going. And I said, but your connas are real good. And I wouldn't have seen that probably 5 years ago. Now I just have different eyes.
Yeah.
And isn't that true?
Yeah, dude. That is, you're right, dude. The acknowledging that you don't know is the best place to be, because that's when you can then actually see the new information. So as long as you don't go around like, we know that the Earth's a ball, we know that dinosaurs are real.
I don't think we know anything. I think it's all just like, I was gonna say. But yeah, I don't know. Well, you guys come out here a lot, or you just?
No, we're traveling the U.S. So
where are you guys from?
I'm from Tennessee. He's from Cali.
Yeah.
So we're just here. We've been in Minneapolis for 3 days. We're leaving tomorrow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What'd you guys speak at earlier?
Let's see. We went to the St. Paul Saints game last night, and then we went to the WWE SmackDown that was downtown.
That was here?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple days ago. And then we're gonna head out. Yeah, our friend Authentic Intent, he's from here, and then Authentic Intent, Josh is from here. He comes down here, posts up down there a lot.
Right,
so yeah,
did
you got
up to next?
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, and then we're gonna pull out the mic in front of Mount Rushmore.
I was gonna say they'll be glad to hear it then.
Oh, you're gonna smack Caribou out there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore, and then Yellowstone, then Idaho.
It's a big long pathway going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
Yeah, you got a card?
Like this.
Yeah, I got one earlier.
Cool,
from,
cool.
This guy.
Cool. We'll get the QR code fixed, and then you can. There's a bunch of stuff on there.
Yeah, I mean, I love like reading different people's perspectives. Like anytime there's a topic, I always love reading both sides. That's how you form an opinion.
For sure.
So I mean, yeah, I'll for sure check it out. Of course.
Of course,
I like
man.
hearing everyone's side of things, but.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to us,
you
man.
guys have a good night.
Yeah, of course, you too, brother. In a world.
It charged enough to do that?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
I couldn't imagine dating any girl that wasn't a flat earther. What you say, that would be torture. Jeez Louise. Hopefully you guys heard that pretty well. Nice to see some free thinkers, yeah, for sure. Well, that dude works here, so I'm telling you, when people have to sit here and hear it all, bro, it's pretty funny. Like, they can't really deny it very much. In a world, Bob. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the charger back in. Hopefully we don't have people come up to me because I want you guys to be able to hear it, but I'll get on the mic. I'll talk for a few more minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. So just a second. Interesting.
I found a site that has all of the 666s.
Yeah.
I thought you came up with a lot of them, and I added some of yours in an article that I wrote. But this guy had all of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, yeah. And then I looked up the 667, the gravitational constant, and it actually is. I believe it was. Oh, I can't remember, 666 dot something. But they said it equates to 666 in the Britannica back in 1800s. They said it actually is the 666.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I do have that site that.
Of course, I have a bunch of Glovers that get triggered when because they're like, it's not actually 666, you're lying to people. So I just dropped it, you know, I don't want to hear anything.
Oh my God.
But I want to see the Britannica, then I'll just keep on citing it. Look, the chalk is awesome. I'm going to show you guys the chalk. Check this out. Chalk is the move, bro. There's the setup. We got the sign, the QR code that they keep attacking the QR code. I've emailed customer service. The number doesn't work. I paid $250 in advance. Okay. I don't know what that is about. So the chalk's pretty cool. As people walk by, they have to see it. Yo, can I get a piece of chalk? Thank you, man. It's all good. All right, guys. Oh, wow. What's up?
Do you have any like other hard questions?
Any other questions? How fast does the Earth spin? Yes. Well, 1,037, but yes. No. I see you, bro. Let's see. How fast does the Earth go around the sun?
Is it 37,000?
66,600. 666, you know. Let's see here. How far away is the moon? Yeah. Nope. 238,000 miles. All right, brother. Have a good one. Much love, dude. Research. Flat. The chalk is running out, guys. Oh my gosh. This is what I got left. Yo, I ran out of chalk on the last letter. Thank you. Okay. We're gonna have to incorporate in a world where no one knows what the world really is. research flat Earth. Okay. We're gonna have to get some chalk for the rest of the tour. Sorry.
Oh, is he back? Oh, yeah.
So guys, if you can see, there are people. Yeah, there are people all down there. And I'm pretty sure they can hear me.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna jump on the mic again for a few more minutes activism, and we're gonna wrap it up. What's up, chat? Chalk is like legal vandalism. Yeah, exactly. It's called First Amendment. But some states, like literally, it's considered graffiti in some states. So it depends on where we are if we can use it. Critical Inception said chalk incoming. You put the word out. He's walking away now. Sweet. Handmade guitars. Nice. I want to learn how to play the guitar, but I don't know how to play it all. Gotta get these guys. Hey, did you guys know the Earth is flat? No, you know. Thank me later. The Earth is actually flat. It's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. You're not lost in space. You're not going to get hit by asteroids. Don't worry. You can rest peacefully. The Earth's not moving. That's why you don't feel like you're moving right now. And don't let them lie to your children and tell them that they're lost in an empty nothingness where a vacuum's going to kill them with asteroids. Because that's not real. And no, they didn't come from apes. And no, the asteroid didn't kill the dinosaurs. You have a spirit. You're special. Don't let your teachers lie to you. You have a spirit. You're beautifully made in the image of the Creator. You're very powerful. You're not insignificant. That's right. Well, science can't explain intuition or memories or your light inside your body. That doesn't matter. You're an ape. You're an ape. You're so woke you think you're an ape. Huh? You're not even woke. You don't know you're an ape. The Earth is not a spinning ball. I guess if that's a finny, y'all don't get involved. You know that the Earth is flat? They lied about the Earth. It's flat. The Earth is flat. Just like that water that you're drinking. Yeah. Oh wow, the guy right here? Hey, what's up, man? Why are you assaulting people, man? Why'd you assault him, man? Hey, why'd you assault somebody then run away, man? Now you're running across the street. Check him out. Run away, bro. Why'd you assault somebody, man? That is the gamma move right there, running across the street. I know you can still hear me, bro. You're not gonna get a girlfriend like that.
You like lockdown?
Oh man, what a loser.
I guess.
You just slapped the stuff and ran off?
Yeah.
It's always the like out of shape losers. I'm just being real.
You got really triggered.
About the Earth or something else?
He was a vaccine.
Oh.
He was an idiot. But I walked away and then he slapped the shit off the table.
Clown world. Alright, let me see here. Hey, do you guys know the moon landing was fake? Do you guys think we went to the moon in 1969? That's kind of weird, bro. They said they can't go back. Did you know that Buzz Aldrin said it was just an animation? Buzz Aldrin said that. I'm guessing that you think that's a lie, so I'll just play him saying it.
Talk about this because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well, no, what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about, how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop.
It was
and a few
exciting.
other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he said line. So he asked Buzz Aldrin about the moon landing, and Buzz said, you didn't see us land on the moon. There wasn't any TV. There was no one with a camera there. You watched an animation. All you did was hear me and associate it with what you thought was going on. I guess Buzz Aldrin, the guy that supposedly went to the moon, he doesn't know much about it as you guys do. Isn't that interesting? Buzz Aldrin said that the moon landing was an animation. This is getting awkward. Just like whenever a little 7-year-old girl asked him, why haven't we gone back to the moon? And he said, I think I know why, because we didn't go. And the globe earth zealots that I deal with on a daily basis, they'll say, that's not what he really meant. You're taking it out of context. No, that's what he said, because he didn't want to lie to the little 7-year-old girl. He had a moment of integrity. So Buzz Aldrin, I just played it, said that the moon landing was an animation. Buzz Aldrin said that. I just played it. The guy that supposedly went to the moon. Why did he say it was an animation? Do you think the moon landing was real, bro? So you think Buzz Aldrin's lying about it? Oh, man. The moon landing wasn't real, man. It was filmed in a studio, dude. Buzz Aldrin. I just played Buzz Aldrin saying it was an animation. Right. Why do you believe it? Okay. So a lot of people think that Jeff Bezos just went to space. No, Jeff Bezos went to space and he saw the curvature of the Earth.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Oh, why is
Bluetooth pairing.
Bluetooth connected. Okay, so here's Neil deGrasse Tyson, world-famous astrophysicist, saying that you cannot see the curvature of the Earth from 63 miles where Jeff Bezos just was. Here he is.
Oh, by the way, you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. Do you know how high up above the Earth he was? No. So if you take a
63 miles.
Well, yeah, tell you what. So take a schoolroom globe, and that's how high above it is he? So he's about 2 millimeters above the surface of a schoolroom globe. So nobody has seen the curvature of the Earth from that height. I just want to make that clear.
Wow. So Neil deGrasse Tyson, world-famous astrophysicist for the globe Earth, says that you don't see curvature from 63 miles. So when people walk up to us and like, you crazy, stupid flat earthers, Jeff Bezos just went to space and saw the curve. Really? Because the astrophysicist on your side said you can't see curvature from there. You should ask yourself then, why do they show pictures that show curvature thin with the fisheye lens making it look like it's curved when it's actually not? Isn't that interesting? Why lie? If you're not lying, then why wouldn't you just show what it really looks like from there? Even if it was flat from there, if it's a ball, you wouldn't have to lie about it. But that they lie over and over and over and show you fake images, admittedly computer-generated images, composite images, where they clone the clouds, they admit they're not real pictures. And supposedly Felix Baumgartner jumped from 128,000 feet and saw the curvature of the Earth, and he came out on national TV and said, I could see the curvature up there. It was very surreal. Then the flat earthers sent a high-altitude balloon 120,000 feet and saw the horizon's actually still flat up there. So then Neil came out and said, well, you wouldn't actually see the curvature from that height. But why'd they show the whole world the curvature then? Normally you don't have to lie a lot when you're telling the truth, do you? It's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. Coincidence number 758,000. No. See, the Earth is flat. You can't go to quote-unquote outer space, and that's why NASA admits they still can't go to low Earth orbit, past low Earth orbit. NASA admits it. Obama's on record saying that we're trying to get past low Earth orbit. NASA aerospace engineers are on record saying that we're still trying to get past low Earth orbit, and that it's too dangerous to do so. And yet everyone here thinks we've been to space and that NASA has stuff in space and people are going to space right now. Just because if they say the word space on the news, you believe it. If they say Jeff Bezos went to space, you believe it. But they admit that there were still clouds at that height and that they only experienced weightlessness for 4 to 5 minutes. Because they were still in Earth's gravity, is what they said. So he didn't go to space. So why does the headline say Jeff Bezos went to space? Because they're brainwashing you, and they know that most people won't research anything. They'll just read their Instagram, they'll read their Facebook, they'll watch CNN, and they'll hear Jeff Bezos goes to space, and then they'll go on about their day and watch Netflix and work their 9 to 5 and come back home and go to sleep. That's why they say space, because all that is needed in 2021 to lie to you is the headline has to say something, and you guys will eat it up like the gospel. People come up here and say, you're such a stupid flat earther, Jeff Bezos just went to space. And your own side admits he didn't actually go to space, and that you can't see the curvature from how high he went, and that he was still in gravity, and that there was weightlessness because the plane was free falling down. It's called a vomit comet. You can pay $2,000, get on a plane, it'll go up, it'll come down, and you'll feel like you're floating for 5 minutes. That's all they did. And admittedly so. You guys are going to defend one of the most corrupt billionaires ever. He shakes his head, but he won't actually specify any contention. He doesn't know what I'm saying is true or not true. I just now played Neil deGrasse Tyson on national news saying what I just said. So how do you know, how's it wrong? Do you think Jeff Bezos went to space, bro? Because they said that he didn't go to space. That's weird. Did you know that he didn't actually go to space? They're lying. You can't go to outer space, man. Outer space is fake.
Have you ever been on a plane?
Yeah, hundreds of times. No, over 200 pilots. They all know that you don't see curvature from a plane. So, you think you see curvature from a plane?
I am a pilot, and I 100% know that you can see curvature.
Or put on your life.
On my life.
You're gonna sit here and lie, holding a little girl's hand that you saw curvature in your plane.
100%.
Really? Do you account for curvature when you fly?
Do you account for it?
Yeah.
What do you mean by
Well, if the Earth is curving down below, you do account for it.
It's called gravity.
So gravity dips you down without you having to account for it.
No, but there's a stratosphere and a trapezoid that keeps you.
So you don't have to account for it.
I guess I don't understand what the question is.
Did you have to account for the Earth curving below you?
No.
Do you have to account for the Earth spinning? Okay, and dude, you want to take this back? You don't actually see the curvature from a plane. You can't see the curve. I'm not even saying that you're actually lying. I think you may think you did, but you don't see the curvature from the plane, bro. Right? And like.
You actually know that the world is flat.
Yeah, I measured it. I know it is. We saw mountains from 273 miles away. The globe Earth said it should be blocked by 3 miles of Earth curve. And France, Canigou Mountains. You see a skyline in Chicago from 60 miles across Lake Michigan should have been completely blocked by Earth curvature. It sounds crazy, I know. But, like, how did I see the mountains? Did I see through the Earth? Yeah. Just look into it, bro. I know it sounds crazy. I actually respect you because you did come up here and talk to me, bro. So much love. I know it sounds crazy. But anyway, I know hundreds of pilots, military pilots also. Actually, when they design a plane, they have to design the plane assuming a flat, non-rotating surface.
Go answer 3 questions.
Oh, yeah?
Do it.
All right, how many times does the Earth spin every 24 hours? According to the globe Earth model. Yeah. Once. Dang, bro. I can't give you the money. You want to keep trying? Okay. How far away is the sun, supposedly? 93 million. Nice. What's the radius of the Earth? 3,959. Yeah, let's keep going. How fast does the Earth spin? That's how fast it goes around the sun. Yeah, it spins 1,037, 1,000, and then it supposedly goes around the sun 66,600 on a 66.6 degree tilt. Just coincidence. Yeah. Let's see here. Do you know how far away the moon is? $238,000. Yeah. So you know that they say that the sun is actually 400 times bigger than the moon, but coincidentally, because it's exactly 400 times further away also. Oh, okay. I see you, bro. Nice. When did you hear about it?
Probably about 7 years ago.
Oh, wow. You're an OG flat earther then.
It was about 3 years ago.
Okay, I got you. Cool, man. I was gonna say, like, normally when you knew the sun distance pretty fast, so I was like, well, something's going on here. Yeah. It's a rabbit hole, is it not?
It is. So you go into that, you realize there's a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah, that's why I try to wake people over this, because if you see through this, then it's hard to fall for the other lies. Yeah. So you know about the Antarctic Treaty and all that? They signed.
Oh, the Antarctic.
Oh yeah. That's the big tell right there. They don't even let you go check it out. Yeah. Here, let me give you a card, man. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. So yeah, the QR code got attacked today, so I have to go home and get it back online. It gets attacked every day. Yeah. Yeah, much love, bro. Yeah, later. In a world where flat earthers are everywhere, but no one knows where they are. I'm glad you guys asked. No, the Earth's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. That's dumb. That defies physics. You can't have a pressurized system sitting next to a vacuum, man. That's impossible. That's impossible. Do you guys think the moon landing's real? Just so you guys know, the moon landing was fake. Outer space is a hoax. You can't travel to a vacuum that couldn't exist. The Earth is flat and not moving, and it's contained, and it's the center of everything that exists. Thank me later. Don't make this weird. All right, there's not many people left. I'm going to wrap this up, I think. So, just in case you guys didn't notice what was going on, they're kind of trying to build a one world order, and the whole world shut down the same day, and they gave you curfews and lockdowns, and be a good slave, go in your house for a lockdown. And then they had the slaves going around defending the government to do it. That's the funny part. Oh, just wear your mask for 2 weeks, and we'll get back to normal in 2 weeks. I mean, a year and a half. I mean, forever. I mean, crawl on all fours and bark like a dog. It's the only way you'll be safe. You got to put shackles on your ankles tomorrow or you might get sick. So, anyway. Stand up for your children before they don't have any freedom left. They're going to inherit a country that is a slave state. They're going to think that lockdowns and curfews are normal. The government doesn't tell you what time you have to go in the house or when you're allowed to hang out or if you're allowed to keep running your business that you worked your whole life to build. That's not what the government gets to do. So, there you go. Anyone that would sacrifice freedom for security deserves neither. So if you would sacrifice liberty for security, you deserve neither. Neither. So that's a pretty true statement. It's also easier to convince someone of a new lie than that they had been lied to, right? So it's easier to fool someone than to convince them that they've been fooled. So yeah, you were lied to about the Earth. Hopefully your headphones aren't drowning this out. The Earth is actually flat. It's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. If the Earth's not a spinning ball, there's not a spinning ball. If that's offending y'all, don't get involved. All right. So I'm just going to wrap this up. I think there's a few people over here that can hear it. So just so you know, they signed the Antarctic Treaty. They drew a circle around you. It's time that we come together as people and we acknowledge that they lied and we demand that we're allowed to go freely explore what is here for us, created for us, right? There should be no poverty. There should be no hunger. These are all things orchestrated by powerful people so they can keep you dependent upon a system that they run, they benefit from, and they keep us slaves inside this little circle that work 9 to 5s, right? Working their slave labor, keeping their monopolistic businesses running as they try to weed us all out and get you ready for a digital tracking system and condition you for the mark of the beast as you guys have been conditioned to walk into a store and get scanned on your forehead every day like a robot. You guys think it's normal to get scanned on your forehead like you're an item, like you have a barcode on you or something. So just wait till they roll out the digital tracking system. So it's time that we wake up before it's too late. Stand up for your children because they don't know what's going on. They're just looking at their parents and they don't really understand what the real world should look like, which is kind of why we're traveling the U.S. right now. So there you go. And I will say this because I always finish with this typically. They lied about the Earth, and it has lots of implications, right? But the major one, in my opinion, is they told you that you're on a tiny speck of dust in this vast emptiness of black void, and you could die at any moment getting hit by an asteroid, and you came from apes, there's nothing special about you, and be a good slave, you do what we tell you to. You have curfews now, go home, it's past your curfew, you have a lockdown. But the truth is, you have a spirit. You're very powerful, you're beautiful, you were made in the image of the Creator, right? You have ability to manifest things, you're very powerful, right? But if you knew how powerful you were, it'd be difficult to control you. So they keep us divided with politics. Oh, who'd you vote for, Joe Biden or Donald Trump? Neither one, they're both psychopaths. So they keep us divided based on politics, right? They keep us divided based on race that isn't even real. Race isn't real, it's the human race. I don't change race throughout the summer. We have different color skin, get over it. Okay, but they keep us divided on race. They keep us divided based on politics. It's called divide and conquer. But if we would come together and understand what the truth is, understand that we have a spirit, we can manifest things, we're very powerful, the Creator made us, and we respond and answer to the Creator, not to the government, then we would be able to take our freedom back. We'd be able to give our children a free society to live in, as opposed to a slave state that has lockdowns like prisons do. Okay, so the Earth's geocentric, it's the center of everything. That means it was created. That's a major implication of the lie. And the scriptures are literally true. So whoever's supposed to hear this, I am pretty confident is still here because they're supposed to hear it. So the scriptures are literally true, but religion has ruined it, right? So religion sucks, but the scriptures are true from the beginning. The most historically accurate compilation that ever existed. Yeshua is the most historically accurate figure that ever existed. They changed his name, they changed his birth date, they changed the stories, they mistranslated in all kinds of different languages and all kinds of different versions, and they took books out of it. They told you to go worship on Sunday, Sun Worship Day, when the Sabbath's actually Saturday. They told you to give your tithing to some dude in a suit so he can get a new BMW, right? It's all set up. Religion sucks. It's all set up to take you away from the Creator, to control you, to manipulate societies. But if you just humble yourself, you have a personal relationship with the Creator, He will not leave you hanging. Because I used to be so anti-religion. Oh yeah, there's 4,200 religions and yours is the right one. What a cool story, bro. I get where you're at. But you don't have a religion with your Father. You have a relationship with your Father. Just humble yourself and talk to Him. Like they teach you to say, "Dear God." You're not writing a formal letter. Just have a conversation with Him. He knows what you truly think, what you're truly going through, and He has plans for you to prosper. He loves you. He cares about you, but He's not going to make you do anything. And He gives you tons of power. Okay? He wants you to have power where they can't touch you. I walk around these cities knowing that I can't be touched. I'm not scared of any of the death threats I get, right? It's not because I'm just like super hard. It's because I know the Creator's real. I know they can't touch me until I'm supposed to go. Right? And if they actually do get me, I'll get a crown for the effort. Right? And I want you guys to have that freedom and that assurance that you can go through life and understand the security that comes with that. All right, so there you go. Whoever's supposed to hear this, I hope you heard it. The Creator loves you. I know you may be going through a lot. I know you may have a bunch of crazy experiences with religion. I did too. I had a few pretty dark ones. Right? And I get it, and it's pushed you away maybe, but don't let other men push you away from the Creator. Don't let men taint what scriptures actually say, right? And one of the biggest attacks on the scriptures ever is when they lie to you about what the earth is, right? Because there's a firmament over top of you, and the Creator's local. He's right above you. He's personal. He's not thousands of light years away or doesn't exist or is gravity. He's right there. He's right there. So the Creator can see you, bro. You don't get to just do whatever you want to. You guys out here wilding out of pocket, twerking on the ground, twerking TikTok, small waist, pretty face, and a big bang. Right? You guys are just wilding nowadays because you think that there's nothing that matters and you're just an animal and you just YOLO. You only live once. Who cares? I don't have to be accountable to anything. I'm a god. Right? And this is how they've controlled you and created a slave state where you think you have to answer to the government. People think they're woke because they're slaves. Yeah, welcome to 2020 where 2021, people think they're woke because they believe in aliens and they think it's cool to blindly obey the government. I'm such a gangster, I got a curfew. Yo, I'm a G, I gotta go in for lockdown, bruh. Yo, let me check for my keys and my wallet and my shoes and where's my mask? CNN told me I had to wear a mask today. So anyway, you guys don't notice that they're building a one world order. They wrote about it. It's on the back of your dollar bill. New World Order. It's in Latin. They are building a one world system. That's why the entire world shut down the same day. They got you used to walking in a store, getting scanned on your forehead because there will be a digital tracking system. There's a prophecy from thousands of years ago, probably just a coincidence. And it says that in the end, they will build a one world government. They will make you take a mark to identify yourself, to buy, sell, and trade. It'll be on your wrist and your forehead. And then the same year, the whole world shut down on the same day as they started building their one world government. They made you wear a mask one letter away from mark to identify yourself, to buy, sell, or trade as you go into stores. And then as you walked in those stores, they scanned your wrist and scanned your forehead. They're conditioning you for the mark. So I just want you guys to wake up before it's too late. So there you go. They're conditioning you. And they're going to put you back in lockdown this fall. Right? And if you guys keep complying, your children will no longer be free. You will no longer know what freedom is, and you will live in a slave state for the rest of your life, as will your children, where they have lockdowns and curfews periodically. So it's time to stand up for your children. Time to stand up as a people, put your differences aside. No, there's not white and black. That's stupid. I've never met a white person or a black person. That doesn't exist. Okay. It's just the human race. We have different color skin. Get over it. I don't change race throughout the summer. That's stupid. They just keep us divided because it's easier to conquer people if they're divided. Let's argue about what color we are. Let's argue about politics that's fake and all the presidents are related. What's up? So yeah, all that's just a distraction. Is to keep you divided so they can build their new world order, and you guys don't pay attention. You guys don't realize that over the last year and a half, they've already started building their infrastructure, updating it. They have a surveillance system all around you in the form of the new data. Let's say the new cellular data they rolled out, right? And they're building this system all around you. You're a conspiracy theorist. Okay, well, that's a cool story, bro. You have fun. You have fun in the new world order. I told you so. Won't get you out your slave chains, though. So that's what we're trying to wake people up before it's too late. You don't have to get your permission to breathe oxygen from the government. You don't get curfews from the government. You don't go in lockdowns like prisons do in America. That's not a free country term. That's a prison term. So you guys should stand up and stop blindly complying to the government before it's too late, right? And that's why I'm telling everyone about this truth when most people just immediately get triggered and don't want to hear it. The Earth's actually flat. They lied about it. It's stationary. It's the center of everything because it shows that every major world country is lying to you. They signed something called the Antarctic Treaty. They drew a circle around you. They said you're not allowed to go here. And so it's not Russia versus China. It's government versus people. We need to come together, stand up against the totalitarian people that are trying to take us over, and realize we have power that they're trying to take from you. So that's the conclusion. Wake up before it's too late. Utilize your power, right? And to anyone out here that got the QR code, just know that they attacked it when we were out here. I'll have to go back and get it online again. So just keep up with the code for a few hours and then we'll get it back online. And just speak the truth regardless of what other people think. People are always going to attack you because weak-minded people get together and throw stones at the stronger, independent thinkers. Don't worry about what other people think. The surface of the earth isn't curving, that's for certain. We've been searching. So just look into it. They lied. Peace out. All right, guys, it's getting dark. What's up? What's up, guys? What's up over there, guys? There's not many people, so I was trying to talk relative to their body language or how much I'd already heard them heard. There's not really anybody out here. So, I love you guys. I'm just gonna play my song. The phone's getting low anyway. Great stream tonight. Thank you, man. Much love. Take care. Much love. Good times. What's up, Wendy? Great job as always. Thank you. All right, thanks for kicking it, everybody. I'll walk over there. Nah, you won't really. I would say I would show you that so you can get a good angle for the end of the stream, but. There you go. We'll just rock with that. Oh yeah, in a world. All right, so I love you guys. Seek and speak truth. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. So it doesn't really matter what everyone else thinks. Just stand up and speak the truth. Brilliant as always. Also, thank you. Much love. Thank you. Much love. The weak will attack the strong, right? So strong don't care what weak think. Informed doesn't care what ignorant people think. Intelligent people don't care what dumb people think, right? We have been lied to about a ton. We're peeling back the layers of truth. Be humble. Those who humble themselves will be exalted. Those that exalt themselves will be humbled. Rejoice for when they revile you for his name's sake, for they did that to all the prophets before you, right? So they've been engineered to think the truth sounds crazy. You gotta be patient with people. Keep crushing, legend. Thank you very much for the support, kind words, and the super chat. Michael Stevens, much love, bro. So just try to be patient with people, but at times you also gotta have like righteous indignation or some assertion. You can't be weak, right? It's a thin line to walk. But just keep representing the truth. I'm gonna catch up with you guys later. I love you guys. Peace out. Okay, guys. Once again. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for the super chat. Cool hand truth. Much love. Yeah. Keep crushing, legend. Thank you. Much love, Michael. I don't know if I already read that one. All right, I love you guys. Catch up with you later. If you want to support the tour, $WitsitGetsIt on Cash App, Witsit at protonmail.com. on PayPal, and masqueradetour.com. Peace out.